We all have a particular personality type, and at the same time, we are all unique. To partake in the journey of discovering who we truly are, it is necessary for us to know our true and authentic personality. The quest to know ourselves allows us to better understand the complexity and intricacies of the human condition, improve our relationship with ourselves, with others, and with the world. In one of his earliest and most important works, Psychological Types, published in 1921, Swiss psychiatrist and psychologist Carl Jung coined the two well-known attitude types, introversion and extroversion. He writes, "This book is the fruit of nearly 20 years of work in the domain of practical psychology. It grew gradually in my thoughts, taking shape from countless impressions and experiences of a psychiatrist in the treatment of nervous illnesses, from intercourse with men and women of all social levels, from my personal dealings with friend and foe alike, and, finally, from a critique of my own psychological peculiarities." His initial motivation for investigating typology was his need to understand why Freud's psychology was so different from Adler's. He realized that Freud's pleasure principle and Adler's will to power arose from their own psychological peculiarities. With Freud, objects, things, and people are of the greatest importance, which, according to their specific character, either promote or hinder the subject's desire for pleasure, and emphasis is particularly put on the parents. The subject remains remarkably insignificant and is really nothing than a seed of anxiety. For Adler, on the other hand, it is objects that are regarded as vehicles of suppression that overwhelm the subject, who seeks to overcome his inferiority complex by securing a sense of worth and belonging. These differing views arose because Freud was primarily an extrovert and Adler an introvert. When we consider the course of human life, we see how the fate of one individual is determined more by the objects of his interest, while in another it is determined more by his own inner self, by the subject. The fundamental differences between the two types is that the extrovert has an outward movement of interest towards the object, outer reality, while the introvert has an inward movement of interest towards the subject, inner reality. The reflective nature of the introvert causes him always to think and consider before acting. His shyness and distrust of things induce hesitation, and so he always has difficulty in adapting to the external world. Conversely, the extrovert has a positive relation to things, for he is attracted by them. New unknown situations fascinate him. As a rule, he acts first and thinks afterwards. The one is reflective, the other is quick to action. The introvert is like Prometheus, forethought, and the extrovert is like Epimetheus, afterthought. For the extrovert, it is the object that works like a magnet upon the tendencies of the subject. His attitude is constantly related to and oriented by the object. Thus his interest and attention are directed towards his surroundings, including things and people. They have an almost inexhaustible fascination for him, so that ordinarily he never looks for anything else. The danger is that he can get sucked into objects and completely lose himself in them. Such is the case of a businessman who is constantly oriented towards expanding his company. In the long run, this often leads to mental or physical problems that have a compensatory value as they force his attention back to himself. A frequent neurosis of the extrovert is hysteria, excessive emotional behavior that seems out of control, a constant tendency to make oneself interesting and to produce an impression. For the introvert, it is the subject that remains the center of every interest, as though the subject were a magnet drawing the object to itself. However, to describe the introverted attitude as autoerotic or egocentric is thoroughly misleading. Jung writes, "Everyone knows those reserved, inscrutable, rather shy people who form the strongest possible contrast to the open, sociable, jovial, or at least friendly and approachable characters who are on good terms with everybody or quarrel with everybody, but always relate to them in some way and in turn are affected by them." These types seem distributed quite at random. In the same family, one child can be introverted, the other extroverted. For Jung, one's type cannot be a matter of conscious intention, but must be due to some unconscious, instinctive cause. Therefore, it must have some kind of biological foundation. We're not born tabula rasa. There is also an incalculable importance in parental influence. In normal cases, however, it is one's natural biological tendency that will determine one's type, despite the influence of external conditions. It is important to note that while one mechanism will naturally predominate in everyone, a person can never be purely extroverted or introverted. Everyone possesses both mechanisms, and only the relative predominance of one or the other determines the type. With the introvert, extroversion lies dormant and undeveloped, and with the extrovert, introversion leads a similar shadowy existence. In fact, the undeveloped attitude becomes an aspect of the shadow, all those things about ourselves we are not conscious of, our unrealized potential, our unlived life. Jung gives an example of the relationship between an introvert and an extrovert. There are two youths in the country who come upon a fine castle and want to enter it. The introvert draws back, thinking that they might not be allowed in, with visions of policemen, fines, and fierce dogs in the background. The extrovert answers, "Well, we can ask," with visions of kind old watchmen and the possibility of meeting an attractive girl. Once they enter the castle, they find out that it contains nothing but a couple of rooms with a collection of old manuscripts. This happens to be the chief joy of the introvert, who utters cries of enthusiasm and rushes to contemplate the treasures. His shyness vanishes. The introvert loses himself in the object, forgetting the presence of his friend. The extrovert starts to feel bored and begins to yawn. While the enthusiasm of the one increases, the spirit of the other falls. The manuscripts remind the extrovert of a library, which he associates with university with tedious studies and difficult exams. For one, the place is marvelous, for the other, it bores him to extinction. We see how the introvert, who first resisted the idea of going in, cannot now be induced to go out, and the extrovert curses the moment when he set foot inside the castle. The introvert became extroverted, the extrovert introverted, but the opposite attitude of each manifests in a socially inferior way. The introvert doesn't appreciate that his friend is bored. The extrovert, disappointed in his expectations of romantic adventure, becomes moody and doesn't care about his friend's excitement. The two youths are in happy symbiosis until they enter the castle. They enjoyed a degree of harmony because the natural attitude of the one complements the natural attitude of the other. Both wanted to enter the castle. The doubt of the introvert as to whether an entry was possible was useful for the other, as was the initiative of the extrovert to go and ask. Experience taught Jung that an individual can be further distinguished by their basic psychological functions. These are thinking, feeling, sensation, and intuition. Sensation tells us that something is present. Thinking tells us what it is and enables us to give it a name. Feeling tells us what it's worth. And through intuition, we have a sense of what can be done with it, what its possibilities are, and where it's headed. All four functions are required for a comprehensive understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Thinking and feeling are rational functions, while sensation and intuition are irrational functions. Each of these function types may be either introverted or extroverted, which are attitude types. Attitude types are distinguished by their direction of interest to the object or the subject, while function types are concerned with the movement of libido. The concept of libido for Jung is not limited to sexual desire as with Freud, but rather consists of the totality of psychic energy. Libido denotes a desire or impulse which is unchecked by any kind of authority, moral or otherwise. Libido is appetite in its natural state. From the genetic point of view, it is bodily needs like hunger, thirst, sleep, and sex, and emotional states or affects, which constitute the essence of libido. Thinking and feeling are the rational functions which depend on how we take decisions, and are influenced by judgment. Thinking refers to cognitive thought, our ability to analyze and make logical judgments about information and facts. Thinking types are good problem solvers and usually ask themselves, what do I think about that? They can take a more detached view of the subject and elevate themselves to an objective point of view. By contrast, feeling is the ability to evaluate the emotional states of oneself and others. It tells us the value of something, if it is to be accepted or rejected. Feeling types tend to ask themselves, how do I feel about that? For example, if a feeling type writes a paper and the teacher points out that it is very good, but in a minor passage there seems to be a mistake, the feeling type can get very emotional and say that it is all ruined and that one might as well just burn the paper. This can continue even if the teacher assures the student that he or she only needs to add one little sentence between the two paragraphs. A thinking type, on the other hand, may not be able to express his feelings normally and in the appropriate manner at the right time. It can happen that when they hear that a friend of theirs has died, they begin to cry. But when they meet the widow, not a word of pity will come out. They had the feeling before when at home, but now in the appropriate situation they cannot pull it out, and so they look cold. In everyday usage, feelings often confuse with emotion. It is considered irrational when feelings get in the way of facts. However, psychologically, both feeling and thinking are considered rational functions. The feeling function is the basis for fight or flight decisions. While feeling is often voluntary and comes from reflection, emotions occur involuntary and grip us without our control. The more technical term for emotion is affect. That is, emotional reactions marked by physical symptoms and disturbances in thinking. An affect is an involuntary reaction due to an active complex, a term coined by Jung which refers to an emotionally charged group of ideas or images. Jung stressed that complexes in themselves are not negative, only their effects often are. In the same way that atoms and molecules are the invisible components of physical objects, complexes are the building blocks of the psyche and the source of all human emotions. Apart from the two rational functions, we have the irrational ones, which are our direct modes of experience in the moment, influenced not by reflection but by perception. These are sensation and intuition, and depend on how we take in information. It must be emphasized that by irrational, Jung does not mean something contrary to reason, but something beyond reason. Sensation is our ability to perceive immediate reality through the five physical senses: vision, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. It deals with reality as it is. Sensation types are more down to earth, immersed in the moment, and highly stimulated by the senses. They are less interested in profound or abstract topics. On the other hand, intuition is our ability to grasp complex patterns beyond the immediate sensory data. It allows us to perceive possibilities inherent in the present. A content presents itself whole and complete, without our being able to explain or discover how this content came into existence. This happens when we have a certain hunch that something is going to happen. One may receive information from within, for instance, as a flash of insight of unknown origin, or be stimulated by what's going on in someone else. If an intuitive type is working, for example, with molding something into clay and makes a crude figure of an animal, instead of looking at its concrete nature and try to make another figure with less defects, he will start to go on about how this practice should be introduced into all schools, about all the possibilities of clay molding, what could be done with it in the education of humanity, and so on. Unlike sensation, intuition perceives via the unconscious and is not dependent on concrete reality. Intuitive types are more immersed in abstract reality and deal with metaphors. The two attitude types, together with the four functions, produce 8 function attitudes or personality types, which all have their own peculiarities: extroverted thinking, extroverted feeling, extroverted sensation, extroverted intuition, and introverted intuition. Jung pointed out that the classification of types according to introversion and extroversion and the 4 basic functions is not the only possible one. Nevertheless, Jung seems to have stumbled upon a psychological goldmine. This fourfold structure of the psyche remains one of the most remarkable descriptions of how people can understand themselves and their relation with others and the world. For Jung, it was a great discovery when he later found confirmation of his more intuitively conceived idea in the fact that everywhere in myths and religious symbolism there appears the model of the fourfold structure of the psyche. Jung's work inspired the popular personality test known as the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator (MBTI). The creators of the test felt that Jung's book on psychological types was too complex for the general public, and therefore they decided to make the concepts more accessible. In the test, there are a total of 16 different personality types. However, with making things more accessible, one also risks misunderstanding and trivializing the complexities of personality types. We do not know if Jung would have supported this test, or any other ones for that matter. In fact, he warned against the misuse of his types as a practical guide to a good judgment of human character. Typological analysis, determined by written tests, can be misleading, at worst downright dangerous. They do not consider how one's type may have been falsified by familial and environmental factors, or if one is putting on a persona while taking the test. They are static and time-specific, and say nothing about the possibility of change. The very core of Jung's analytical psychology is the lifelong dynamic process of individuation, which consists in bringing our unconscious contents into consciousness, allowing for psychological maturation. As long as one is aware of the dangers, the MBTI can serve positively as a tool of reflection and orientation. If we are lost, it provides a map for us. However, a map by itself, without knowing the direction of where to go, is not worth much more other than just being a piece of paper. Our task is to find the coordinates to our true self. Only then can we access the fullness of our being, and understanding one's own type is necessary in this process. Jung's model of typology is not a system of character analysis, nor is it a way of labeling oneself or others. Much as one might use a compass to determine where one is in the physical world, Jung's typology is a tool for psychological orientation. If one of the four functions habitually predominates, a corresponding type results, which is called our primary or dominant function. As children, our natural tendency is to do what we are good at and defer things in which we do not feel superior. By such natural behavior, the one-sidedness is increased more and more. Then comes the family attitude. The child gifted in building or construction must become an engineer. The surroundings reinforce the existing one-sided tendencies, the so-called gifts, and there's thus an increase in the development of the dominant function and a slow degeneration of the other side of the personality. This is an unavoidable process, and even has great advantages, so long as one's natural type is allowed to flourish. All functions can be conscious, but we speak of the consciousness of a function only when its use is under the control of the will, and at the same time, its governing principle is the decisive one for the orientation of consciousness. This is true when, for example, thinking is not mere afterthought or rumination, and when its conclusions possess an absolute validity. For Jung, this absolute sovereignty always belongs empirically to one function alone. Through what Jung calls the process of differentiation, we separate one function from the others. Without this, we have no direction, since the direction of a function towards a goal depends on the elimination of anything irrelevant. An undifferentiated function is an archaic condition characterized by confusion and ambivalence, which can bring about a dissociation of the personality. This happens when people have trouble in finding their own type, which is often because they are distorted types, forced by the surrounding atmosphere to develop another function than their natural one. For example, a child wants to become an artist, is told that he must become a doctor, or when the parent's attitude is extreme, and a similar attitude is forced on the children too. For example, let's say a boy is a feeling type, surrounded by thinking-oriented parents and siblings. He will naturally be the black sheep, and has to suppress his main function. He may follow his father's footsteps and become an engineer, but have great trouble with studying and later with work. He will feel bad about himself and think of himself as a failure. There may come a time, however, when the man realizes that he has never felt at home in the world of machinery, but rather in dealing with people. Suddenly he finds the path that resonates with his being, and which nature carved for him. As a rule, whenever such falsification of type takes place, the individual becomes neurotic, and can be cured only by developing the attitude consonant with his nature. However, not all is lost. Such a person is forced ahead of time into doing something that in the second half of life he would have had to do anyway. In analysis, one can very often help people switch back to the original type, and they are then able to pick up the other function very quickly and reach a developed stage. In normal cases, however, the first half of life consists in the development of one's dominant function, while in the second half of life, one develops the inferior function. Before one can even think about developing the inferior function, which is completely incompatible with the dominant function, one must develop the auxiliary or complementary functions, a second and third function that have a co-determining influence on consciousness. These are at the border between consciousness and the unconscious. Jung writes, naturally only those functions can appear as auxiliary whose nature is not opposed to the dominant function. For instance, feeling can never act as the second function alongside thinking, because it is by its very nature too strongly opposed to thinking. Thinking, if it is to be real thinking and true to its own principle, must rigorously exclude feeling. An individual can well have both thinking and feeling on the same level, but this is a case of undifferentiation. The auxiliary function cannot be antagonistic to the dominant function. For instance, thinking can readily pair with intuition or sensation as the auxiliary, which as functions of perception afford welcome assistance to thought, but as observed, never with feeling. The auxiliary function is possible and useful only insofar as it serves the dominant function, without making any claim to the autonomy of its principle. Jung writes, the resulting combinations present the familiar picture of, for instance, practical thinking allied with sensation, speculative thinking forging ahead with intuition, artistic intuition selecting and presenting its images with the help of feeling values, philosophical intuition systematizing its vision into comprehensible thought by means of a powerful intellect, and so on. It is not easy to determine our personality type because we tend to associate it with functions we wish to possess rather than those that we have. This is natural as the psyche seeks to compensate our one-sidedness. Often people will assure you that they belong to the type opposite from what they really are. One must ask oneself, what do I habitually do most? From what do I suffer the most? Where is it in my life that I always knock my head against the wall and feel foolish? That generally points to the inferior function. One must always deal with a real person. True education can only start from naked reality, not from an ideal. Unlike the dominant function and the auxiliary functions, the inferior or fourth function is fully immersed in the unconscious and can only be partially integrated. It is our least developed function. However, the inferior function is often where the gold is, the treasure hard to attain. It is the door through which all the figures of the unconscious come into consciousness. What you need most is always to be found where you least wish to look. Jungian analyst Marie-Louise von Franz writes, one can say that the inferior function always makes the bridge to the unconscious. It is always directed towards the unconscious and the symbolic world. But that is not to say that it is directed either to the inside or the outside. This varies individually. For instance, an introverted thinking type has an inferior extroverted feeling function. Its movement will move towards outer objects, to other people. But such people will have symbolic meaning for the person, being carriers of symbols of the unconscious. For Jung, the inferior function contains the anima or animus, the contrasexual soul images of the psyche. If someone is an introvert feeling type, he or she can be very attracted by extrovert thinking types. It is common for a person to have a relationship with the opposite type, so that one is momentarily freed from the disagreeable task of confronting one's own inferior function. This is one of the great blessings and sources of happiness in the early stages of marriage, since the whole weight of the inferior function is gone, and one lives in blessed oneness with the other. Everything seems magical and romantic. However, after some time in a relationship, it is this very function that can make a relationship destructive and toxic. The inferior function is a double-edged sword. The trouble starts when instead of seeking balance, one tries to influence the other with his or her personality type and tries to look for understanding, only to discover that they have never understood one another, for each speaks a different language. Then the conflict between the two types begins. The value of the one is the negation of the value for the other. Thus, there is mutual depreciation. Jung writes, the inferior function is practically identical with the dark side of the human personality. The same happens again in the choice of analysts. The job of the analyst is to create an adequate environment for the development of the patient's functions. One should never jump directly to the inferior function, but rather develop the auxiliary functions first, complementing the rational function with an irrational function, or vice versa. This allows the patient to slowly work his way to the inferior function. The process should follow a serpentine movement. The analyst must not do the work for the patient, but rather guide him to work it out on his own, or else the patient can engage in transference, such as considering the analyst a parental figure. This creates an absolute dependence on the analyst, which can only be brutally terminated. If the analyst is the opposite type of the patient, he or she must be careful not to display the superior function too much, or to appear as a wise figure, but rather become an ally in the patient's psychological journey. The analyst must go against his real feeling, pretend that he doesn't know or feels incapable, so as not to paralyze the first attempts the patient might make in this field. The essence of the inferior function is autonomy. It is independent, it attacks, it fascinates, and spins us around. It tells us that we are no longer masters of ourselves and can no longer rightly distinguish between ourselves and others. Most people, when the inferior function is in any way touched upon, become terribly childish. They can't stand the slightest criticism and always feel attacked. However, simply to shoot criticism at people will only get them absolutely bewildered and emotional, and the situation is ruined. One must wait for the right moment, for a peaceful atmosphere, and then carefully, with a long introductory speech, one might get across some slight criticism about the inferior function. It is common to lose one's patience in this process and give up. That is hopeless. But it is this way for very good reasons. If we think about the turning point of life and the problems of aging and of turning within, then this slowing down of the whole life process by bringing in the inferior function is just the thing that is needed. It is important to emphasize again, to avoid misunderstanding, that no system of typology is ever more than a gross indicator of what people have in common and the differences between them. Once you label someone, you negate them. For Jung, it is not the purpose of a psychological typology to classify human beings into categories. This in itself would be pretty pointless. What it does not and cannot show, nor does it pretend to, is the uniqueness of the individual. Conformity is one side of a person, uniqueness is the other. But one thing Jung did confess, that he would not for anything dispense with this compass on his psychological voyages of discovery. Without a model of some kind, we are simply lost in a dark cave without a light source. We cannot say, think, or do anything that is not colored by our particular way of seeing the world, which in turn is a manifestation of our typology. This is a psychological law of nature. It allows us to see how we function, if our actions and the way we express ourselves truly reflect our judgments, thinking and feeling, and perceptions, sensation and intuition. And if not, why not? What does this say about our psychology? What can we do about it? What do we want to do about it? Regarding Jung's own typology, he talked about it in his last interview. His scientific investigations and insights point to a dominant thinking function. He had a great deal of intuition, too. His relation to reality was not particularly brilliant, and he had a great difficulty with feeling. He makes it clear, however, that the type is nothing static. It changes in the course of life. As to whether Jung was primarily introverted or extroverted, one feels on safer ground. When no answer comes from within to the problems and complexities of life, they ultimately mean very little. Outward circumstances are no substitute for inner experience. Therefore, my life has been singularly poor in outward happenings. I cannot tell much about them, for it would strike me as hollow and insubstantial. I can understand myself only in the light of inner happenings. It is these that make up the singularity of my life.
wealth of this world isn't in the ground, it's all around us. The Na'vi know that, and they are fighting to defend it. If you want to share this world with them, you need to understand them. You know, they never even wanted us to succeed. They bulldozed a sacred site on purpose to trigger a response. They're just fabricating this war to get what they want.
Can't believe that. That's how they do it. When people are sitting on shit you want and make them your enemy. And then you justify them taking it.
In order to fight a war legitimately, you have to keep the morale high. It means one side has to know that they're fighting on the side of God and truth and what's right. Once one side or the other becomes aware that they have no backing and purpose for what they're doing other than following orders, the morale drops. They don't want to fight no more. They don't want to kill for the orders of the slave leader. So they start to neglect their duties and obligations. You know, at some point, the power dynamic flipped after 9/11. If you look in the history of the Middle Eastern War, the troops started coming back telling everybody that it's bullshit like they always do. So the morale dropped. You're not going to ever be able to win a war over there now because we all know who's lying and who's not. It doesn't even matter who we align with and who we like culturally or societally. We know one side is doing war for profit. We know the other side's being invaded. And they're using certain means to get that done, certain ideologies and propaganda to get that done. But anything that you can come up with that's come from the mind of man can be defeated by the mind of man. A minimalist force can have a maximum effect if they understand the lay of the land, the psychology of human beings, and how to do asymmetrical warfare. You got folks who've been running through the mountains all their life. You ain't going to be able to do nothing with them. They're going to have the high ground. Every time you go up that mountain, they're going to be off to the next one. They're going to fight you guerrilla warfare style. You'll fight a 20-year war and get nowhere, just like they did with Afghanistan. They know the lay of the land. They can sit in a cave all day, every day while you're uncomfortable. They can use the minimalist amount of equipment to have the maximum effect. You'll never stop them. You'll never end that war till you leave. So you have to kill everybody or leave. And that's exactly the way they plan to continue to fight for a reason, because they know the alternative is slavery. We're not going to get slaved by a bunch of infidels who are going to genocide us. We'd rather fight to the last man, guerrilla warfare style, and do it from a spiritual perspective. They're fasting, they're eating minimal, they're praying when they're not fighting, and they're ready to die when you folks want to come play games. The Afghanis don't seem concerned. They can't be beaten yet. The Americans are losing money, they're losing equipment, they're losing morale, they're losing their minds. And the Afghanis just lit up another bowl of hash and just reloaded another RPK. What about the drones? What about this? What about that? What about it? Do you think the Afghanis give a fuck about drones? They're sitting there with 10 ounces of hash, thousands of rounds of ammo with guns from 40 years ago, and they're just waiting and wishing you fly a drone over and do something. They don't care. What else are they going to do? Except sit in a simulation with their family and farm and deal with a bunch of infidel slaves. What else is left? Wake up, dummies. True Islamics don't do war. They do war on you when you invade. The problem is you keep invading them and then crying when they go to war. Pretty simple. Don't invade them. They won't go to war. And let's be real. These beings are using the modern equivalent of bow and arrow, and you folks still can't get it done. I don't give a fuck if I'm an American and you got United States Corporation running all over. I say it's going to be me next. You're going to do to me what you're doing to them. Invade their communities, tell them they're the enemy, and start taking families out of the homes and looking for guns, weapons, and activity of terrorism. The same thing they did on Katrina. Does anyone remember? You think I'm going to side with a group that's terrorizing the world when they've already terrorized us? Absolutely not. All of life should be lived preparing to die. This is a spiritual, metaphysical / physical simulation arena. You're not a human. You're having a human experience. You're a spiritual being first, but you're here to use the body, not identify with it. If you ain't using the body to challenge and test and go past fears, you're fucked.
Greetings, folks. We're back at it. We don't miss. We got Brian O'Shea in the back corridors. bring him on in. Not beat around the bush. I gave him a new name because, like, we're hanging with the hip hop folks now. We're like, we're like up and coming, right? We're in the game. We're in the conversation. You know, we had Rainwater here yesterday. Charleston White's one-time assistant, promoter, producer. He has many accolades. And of course, your new name, as I gave it to you, is Pizwater. Isn't that right, Mr. O'Shea? Because we're we're moving and shaking now, and we're a part of the scene, right? We're on the path to being rich and famous. Your thoughts?
Background behind me is kind of throwing me off. It looks fake. Something off.
Where is that? What are you doing, bro? Where are you at?
Hey, what are you trying to say? Don't worry about it, dude.
All right, whatever. Just saying it's nice over there.
Running around. What's your problem?
All right. Ever since the black people got upset with you, you don't feel comfortable revealing your location. All right, forget I asked. I'm just saying it's nice back there.
I'll be at Yuck Yucks though Tuesday night if anyone wants to.
Who's this? Buckwheat? The Steno Gardens? It's got to be Michael, isn't it? It's got to be Michael. Let's see here. Hello. Oh, yeah, it's the little moose creature. How are you, little moose creature? How have you been, sir? He's smoking that yellow liquid. he goes on these swings where, like, he gets off the yellow liquid, he hangs out with that wife of his, then he goes back on the liquid, he's on the outs with her, shows up here grinning like a cat. What's going on with you, man? Are you okay? Is everything okay? I can't hear you. Can you hear him, Brian O'Shea? Because I can't hear him. No, nothing.
What an idiot.
There's always one, huh? Usually it's you, but thankfully not today. Wow. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, producer Moose. That's my Baba Booey. They still can't figure out. I called him producer Moose because he can't produce. It's another one of those non-bits. They still haven't figured out what I'm doing. Okay, he's back. How are you, sir? Test. Nothing. Still non-audible. I can see you. I can't hear you.
What an idiot.
This was my supposed right-hand man producer.
That's the guy that's who's going to be in charge of your audio.
Yeah, when you jerk off as much as I do and broadcast at the same time, you got to have a right-hand man. You get what I'm saying? So that's what he was really there for. It's not the producing. You can't do that. So we'll just let him kind of cycle and spin and come in and out. And say, okay, but now we're back. Now we have Big Moose. Big Moose is back. There it is. He's got 5 setups, right? That's why they call him Producer Moose, because he has 5 different setups of equipment. He can't use any of them effectively. What do you got going on, man?
Not too much. I'm just proud of you. Proud of you. Why am I
proud of me?
The god of all media. You're inspiring others, especially Brian O'Shea, to go out there and do shit, even stupid shit at that, and funny shit. You know, I'm still living in the past.
Right.
I mean, a couple days ago, when he walked into a coffee shop and he didn't understand that this man did not understand English, he got angry and he decided to smack the guy's coffee off the counter. That was the most funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Thanks to you.
Right.
Praise God.
He's praising God already. What's up, Brian O'Shea? Are you going to talk to Moose, or like you guys got beef, drama, or what?
He's angry with me. He's kicking me out of his channel. Won't let me talk. Saying I'm going to porn bomb him and shit.
Show up and your mic wasn't working there. You're an idiot. Finally got it fixed here, but
I mean, you couldn't go somewhere with it. You couldn't be like the god of all media and take it somewhere. Instead, you just had to be a dick about it and just fucking throw me out.
Your mic wasn't working. Moron. What are we gonna do with it?
I mean, that's for you to figure it out. You're the comedian, not me. I'm not world famous or a comedian.
That's true. So what's up, Brian O'Shea? You just gonna sit there?
God, dude, you're like a fucking dead body over here, and we gotta get the cattle
Every
brought
time.
out. You missed me at all, or I mean, like old times? All right, I'm gonna go smoke a bowl. Listen.
Children of ours, Paul.
O'Shea resurrecting the silent era of vaudeville comedy. I love that. It's great. You don't have anything, Brian O'Shea? You got nothing? Nothing to report? No sets last night? Your thoughts about Rainwater being here? Your thoughts about us on the path to fame and fortune? Nothing?
I went to show up to a police station this morning and give a notice, but it was closed.
Why you showed up to a police station for what reason?
I was just gonna tell him, hey man, think about taking these plates off. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. Have a conversation.
Okay, and what did they say? You're an idiot?
You fucking never listen, dude. Never listen, father.
How am I not
No.
listening? You said you showed up there to have a conversation about you taking plates off and everything else. What did they say?
I told you that it was closed. I was upset by that.
Well, I can barely hear you. There's things banging back there. You're not loud. Hold on, do the silent comedy bit again. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. You don't like now your silent comedy. You don't like make faces, hold up signs. You just look down.
I look at the chat because I need bifocals, so I can't see the chat on the screen. So I have to take my phone and look.
Now, how does that help you? Like, how is you looking at the chat helping you do silent comedy?
Oh well, I was just more concerned with what the chat was doing. I'm doing comedy.
The folks back there seem to think it's funny.
Who's oh yeah, Paul Unslaved tickled my balls. Yeah, he thought that was Mimi.
I swear I could do this all day. Just go back and forth and watch you sit there and not do anything, not say anything as a comedian and a stage person. I don't know. There's something that's really funny to me about that. That's why I lose a third of my audience. Every 6 months, I lose about a third of the audience because I do shit like this. It's just for me. This is for me today. This is all for me.
You know, if this was at the Eminem, you only get one shot. That's what you get, or some shit. I don't know the rap, but anyways, you would have failed that, Brian O'Shea. 100% failed.
This is your one shot, Brian O'Shea.
You were funny as heck the other day. I don't know what happened. Like either
I think he's got to be on stage.
Stage?
I think he's got to be on stage.
He was walking around talking to people. Every time he started, I'm a comedian. Brian O'Shea, comedian.
If you had one car and you lived in it and it smelled like urine, but you knew this was everything you ever wanted, would you go for it and capture it? Or would you just let it slip?
Hey, dumbass.
So you take the time to write?
This is the like interstitials, right? Like as we're preparing for the battle. This is Brian O'Shea living at the library preparing. All right, where are we going with this? It's already ridiculous. You guys got anything? I'm going to get into breaking slave news. We're going to teach some of these slaves. I keep meaning to teach these slaves how to buy some silver, but I never get around to it. I keep meaning to like cover the Bitcoin slavery situation, and I keep not getting to it. So maybe we'll do all that. I got like a stack of cop shooting citizen slaves videos we can go over. Why the hell not? Anything?
Those are always fun.
What now?
I said the cop shooting the slaves is always fun.
You're into that?
Always. I mean,
you want to just go like one up front and then we'll circle back around?
That's what I'm talking about right there. I mean, it's the only thing that fires people up more than anything is watching somebody get shot down.
This one says this is a guy who shot police and then got arrested, which is like reverse of how it usually happens.
I'm Captain Valerie Littlejohn with the Office of Media Relations. We want to update you on an officer-involved shooting.
Oklahoma City 911.
Blah, blah, blah. Let's just get right
Officer
down
Bryce Sheehan responded to the 2300 block of South Kate in reference to a person causing a disturbance with a resident. When Officer Sheehan arrived, residents of the neighborhood pointed him in the direction the man was last seen walking. Officer Sheehan spotted the man in the 2100 block of Emco Drive. The officer stepped from his police car and began speaking with the suspect, later identified as Christopher Wilson. During the conversation, Officer Sheehan asked Wilson if he could pat search him. When the officer placed his hand on Wilson's arm, Wilson quickly pulled a gun, turned, and fired at the officer, narrowly missing the officer's head. As Officer Sheehan attempted to put distance between himself and the suspect, Wilson advanced on the officer, continuing to fire at him, striking the officer in the right thigh. Officer Sheehan returned fire. The suspect then tried to steal the officer's car, but ultimately fled on foot.
man. Hey, come here real quick. Yeah. Are you having beef with someone up the road? Hey, hold
You
on.
got some beef, nigger?
Stop. Stop. What's going on? Keep your hands out of your pocket. You got any weapons or anything? No. What's going on with him?
I don't know. He drunk, bro. I'm trying to walk.
Hold on, man.
I'm young in the mud.
Let me figure out what's going on.
Like
I'll
40
get...
years old.
You got any weapons? Can I pat you down real quick? Make sure you don't have any weapons. Here. Don't reach for nothing. Oh! Oh! Shots fired! Shots fired! I'm hit! He's taking off in my car. Shots fired. I'm hit. He's running. He's running down 21st behind the brown house. Started himself. I don't know. Just get in it and get on the brakes. Oh, I'm hit. Am I hitting the face? No. 17 started, so I'm hitting the right leg.
The suspect was struck by Officer Sheehan's gunfire and was found wounded a short time later behind a nearby house. Officers rendered medical aid to Wilson, and IMSA transported him to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The suspect's firearm was located at the scene. Officer Sheehan was transported to OU Medical Center where he was treated and released. He has been placed on routine administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation.
Sounds like the guy died. Weren't there? Thoughts on any of that? Officer O'Shea? Officer Moose Creature?
It's a little different than ones we normally see. Normally they just shoot people for no reason, but I think they had a reason to shoot this guy.
I mean, to be fair, he was being harassed.
All right, let's move forward. We got testing cops on free speech, San Joaquin Valley. Let's check that out. See what they're up to. A lot of cop interactions this week. More and more as the weather gets nicer, you're going to hear more and more folks keep being accosted or having police interactions. It seems.
Hey, Paul.
It's the cycle. Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna bring up that Moose shows up after we have two heavy hitters on yesterday. I'm not even gonna bring that up. So it's just
it's weird you say that because like I thought of that and I wasn't gonna bring that up, and then you brought it up to say you're not gonna bring it up, but maybe we should bring it up because it's not a coincidence.
Who was on yesterday?
He doesn't know. I'm shy.
Oh, he doesn't even know. He
doesn't even know. Like he hasn't been here in what 6 months, but all of a sudden the day after, some folks
Wasn't I
from
on the
Hollywood-
show yesterday or the day before?
Kinda.
Anyways, there's a heavy hitter, right? A super big hitter, and I'm supposed to be here milking it. Who was it? Tell me, Brian O'Shea.
Hey, Moose, can you keep your camera on, please?
Why don't you keep your camera on, fruitcake?
I'll keep mine on.
Nah, put it on, fruitcake. Yeah. All right, you ready for this? Come on, you broke bitch.
Are you guys gonna kiss or something? It's like there's like heavy chemistry in here right now. I feel something going on.
Tell me who the heavy hitters were.
Hey, can you change your camera angle so that lined up with mine?
All right.
I don't like you tower or
All right, is that better?
No, it's not better. I mean, your head needs to be level with mine. You skinny freak.
All right.
The best you could do. It's the best you could do.
I
Just
don't
want
know
to
how to
dominate.
fix it.
Skinny freak.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, how do you want me to
Is
like?
that a laptop in front of you? Just push the angle of it back so your head goes lower.
Bam.
You're
It's
such
not
a
a
moron.
laptop,
You
dog.
can't even figure out how to
Okay.
have your head be lower, the same level as mine.
There you go.
Stupid.
Like that.
Still higher. Moron, dude.
There you go. How's that feel? See, but the weird thing is it's not the same height. So I gotta fix this because then my chin's up in the thing. It's either that or you have a really long neck. You know what I mean?
You're higher than me. I prefer you even or lower than me.
Here we go. There you go, Brian O'Shea. I'm lower for you. Look at you. Look at you and your superior dominance hanging out at the library. About the coolest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. Yeah, so I heard you were actually doing some more comedy gigs lately. How are those going? You're making like $50 a gig, right?
Well, if I'm writing a rap song, Moose is a fucking keeper. These are some lyrics. Hold up.
Okay. Brian O'Shea, often thought of as gay. Here we are today. Ross, Jesse Don, cutting up some shit. Hey, hey. Like what the fuck? We got Jesse cutting up some fucking chicken breast or something. What was that? All right, Brian, are you comfortable with your sexuality enough to tell me
shut up for a
who was
second.
on the
Say
show
something.
yesterday? Who is
Shut up
this
for a second.
supposedly?
Oh, yeah.
big-
Oh, that's perfect. Perfect transition. So Moose says, I don't know who was on yesterday, and that wasn't a sneeze. I think Paul knows what to do. That sentence. I'll read it again. I don't know who was on yesterday, and that wasn't a sneeze.
You're cracking up at stuff that makes no sense.
You know what it is?
Did you? Was that a real sneeze? Did you just sneeze?
No.
Was yesterday the Laguna thing? Because I was in chat.
Did you
We'll figure it out, motherfucker.
Chat for Laguna. Other than that, I don't know who you're talking about.
Go get
It's
your
a
wife.
celebrity.
That's what
I
I'm
wouldn't call her a
talking
celebrity. I'd just call her like a usual daily, like, you know, she's like every other panel verse thought bot.
That's you.
When's the last time your wife went hiking?
That was probably yesterday. It was enjoyable, very enjoyable.
Does she have a trainer, like a hiking coach?
No, I do all that, Brian. See, I don't need to have those things at my house. You, though, I understand that you're on the prowl. You're on the necessity, trying to find some gutter wench to crawl into to possibly be your sugar mama. I understand. Your ego's a little out of bounds here. If you could just try to be funny for a moment.
Can we get back to Jesse cutting meat, please? Thank you. That's a fucking genius. Look at this.
Hey, I want to throw a shout out to Margot out there in the crowd. She's one of my favorites. Always has been, always will. She's a go-getter. truth seeker, truth teller.
You think if that was a child, he'd be just as calm cutting it up?
And let's see. I haven't seen any donations in a while. I don't know if people do donations around here. Especially when Brian O'Shea's around, they probably don't donate. It's kind of fucked up, right? See, Brian, why are you so low? Why don't you change your height? If you just move the phone up a little bit, then, you wouldn't be so low.
No. Can I pet that dog? No. Can I pet that dog?
Why
You
are you
refer to me
always
as Piz
so
Rain from now
angry?
on? Piz Water? Moose? Is Piz Rain or Piz Water better? Piz Rain?
Piz Water. Yeah.
Piz Water seems like
Dude.
a product. Piz Rain seems like a name.
So the thing is, Brian, we finally have the floor. It's me and you. We haven't seen each other in like 6 months, other than a couple little like instances here and there. And this is all you can come up with. It's like you used to be funny as fuck, and now, I mean, what happened to long nipples and hitting on like the fat ladies?
And appreciate it. And if it continues, you will not be welcome here.
What fat ladies was I hitting on?
That one at Sonic.
Recollection of it.
Yeah, your recollection is fucked up, but so yeah, you did used to be funnier though. Like honestly, you could carry on like.
How much weed did you smoke today?
Not enough.
You're
Not
like
enough to hang out with
blowing
you.
out, dude. You're like, did you sit down watching Cheech and Chong for the 89th time?
I'm just having fun, dude. I haven't seen you in so long. I'm excited. I'm so excited to see you, Brian.
I hate you.
Brian O'Shea.
Where's your wife? Where is she?
Over there.
Does she even hike?
Yeah. We hike all the time.
Did she ever black panel?
Does she what?
Does she even black panel?
What does that mean? I don't know what you just said. Like you had to say it super fast.
Does she even black panel?
What does that mean?
You know, Moose, I was trying there for a little bit. I really was. But it's, I don't know. We could try again tomorrow. I don't really know what to do, dude.
All right.
Go Google it. Hello. Figure it out. Write a note. Type in chat. Ask what I'm talking about.
Copy you. I'm going to let you monologue for a second. Let's see what you got.
Hey, dumbass.
Much alike.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to continue your games. You can either grow up, give me. I'm trying to cooperate with you. I went and pulled the video up. I'm asking you what are you looking for? What is your deal, dude? You're missing the point of what is actually happening here today.
Look, I've been working on forgiveness. I forgive everybody. I forgive myself for not coming through with the super awesome comedy when the monologue is just sucking ass and whatnot. But I also forgive you guys. All right. Colossians 3:13, forbearing one another, forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave ye,
Such a skinny
so
freak
also do
idiot.
ye.
Shut
So
up.
it's just one of those things, dude. I forgive you guys. Like it's real. It's real. So Jack Talcott starts in about an hour. I was gonna go get a free hour of life coaching.
Hey, did you ever get any death coaching?
Yeah, I got some of that once. Wasn't my thing. See, I'm not really into death. Like even when I catch
I'm a certified
fish,
death coach if you want me to come over.
yeah, but even when I catch a fish, like I don't like to kill them. I will only do it out of the sake of like not making them suffer. And I'm gonna eat them. If I'm
I'm
not
also
gonna
a
eat them,
certified
I
hiking
don't
coach,
take. I
so
throw them back in. I make sure
you
they
know,
live.
hike with your wife, kill
Yeah.
you.
I make
I don't
sure
know, whatever
to
you're
get them a lot
into,
of blankets too. So if you need a blanket, I got you a blanket, Brian.
Did I mention I'm certified in both?
Yeah, certified. Did they certify you when they wrapped you up in handcuffs and brought you to jail for traveling without all that bullshit? What did they take you to jail for, anyways? Was it just being an asshole? Because I mean, I can understand that. Like, as a tyrant, I'm pretty like, I'd do it. I would take you to jail just because, just fucking asshole. But I don't think you deserved it.
Please continue. Please
And then,
continue talking
and
about
then,
the.
and then, afterwards, after you got taken to jail, right? So like everybody was like, "Oh, we're gonna blow this up out of proportion," and I was like, "I'm gonna jump in here too," and it was just funny because out of your suffering, they were trying to get views, they were trying to get clout, they were trying to like make a mockery out of you, right? But I think you're a hero. I think that honestly, like you've done your job, like to prove that you'll stand your ground, you'll do what's right, what's true. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. The chat is really like off the hinges today, but that's all right. Really fucking off the hinges. Wait, I did all of this? I did all of it. I don't understand what happened to Paul. Like, Paul, did something happen to you? Did you change? Is there something wrong? All right, go ahead, Brian.
No, I just wanted to, try to clown me about the arrest, but just keep going and talking about the arrest. What are your thoughts on it? What was the joke? Because I think you just try to make a joke about it. You could explain it. Sometimes
No, it wasn't even a joke. It was just like heartfelt. It was like, you got fucking arrested. You stuck to what you did, and that's noble. Like that's commendable, right? Like I didn't respect you before, but after you did that, Moose actually respects Brian O'Shea. Like before, I thought of you as just some piece of shit who lives in his car, who decides to gamble away his life, playing poker and shit. And then after you got arrested, I was like, you actually decided to stand up for yourself, be a man, do what's true and right. I can't do anything other than respect that, even though I have all those other feelings. Does that not make sense?
think you're doing like the sneeze. You try to clown me about the rest to make a joke or trying to clown me, but then you're backtracking and saying
No. What I'm saying is like before, half of me despised you, right? But afterwards, it was like you were like a dude who ran into a burning building to save a child or something, and I was like, "Damn, you're a fucking hero! Like, I got respect for you now."
So you're willing to do the same thing?
What does me having respect for you mean? I'm willing to do the same thing.
Greater
And,
things,
oh my
greater
god!
things than I
Welcome.
shall you do.
Hold on, Brian. Hold on. Don't get in there real
No,
fast. We
no,
gotta change the
no,
subject.
no,
Mr.
no.
Jack Talcott.
Greater
has just entered.
things
Hey, welcome.
than I
Yes,
shall you do,
Brian.
Moose. Greater things
Jack.
than I.
Jack
So
is
why are you
back.
not willing?
Look, the whole
to-
asylum is
Why
assembling
are
around you.
you not willing?
That's right. Thank you, Jack. Sad, broken child. You can change for the better at any time.
So
buddy.
I could do it and be a hero, but
Jack
you can't.
Talcott, can you please co-host? Since I completely checked out. I'm so done with the Asylum optics that I'm like nowadays I'm going full Alex Jones, where like I come on one day a week. The last 6 days of the week, someone else can host. I'll pop in for 20 minutes, yell and scream. I'll leave and be fat. I'll just go leave and be fat somewhere else. So,
Praise God.
yeah, praise God. Go ahead, Jack Talcott. Take it wherever you want to go. I'm just going to hit reefer, stare off into the distance, and contemplate my own demise.
Well, I assumed that was already happening. That's why I asked for the link.
All right, so Jack, since you are now the host of the show, right? So the co-host, the God of all media has enwrapped you in his arms. He loves you once again. You're back home. Daddy loves you. Okay, so O'Shea left us. I guess O'Shea's being a little bitch, but that's usual. Were you listening to our conversation between me and O'Shea?
Not really.
Good.
We're falling asleep.
I probably was too.
It was. I'm sure there had to be some meaning between the two of you, but I didn't pay any attention to understand what it was.
He's supposed to be a comedian, and he's dry as it gets.
He's got room for growth, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like bread that was like left out too long, but then you like put it back in the oven and then burnt it. That's where I'm at with O'Shea. Aside from the fact I respect him now because he got arrested. Oh, I'm worse. We got some great comments here. Jack, this is great. I got a great setup now. I'm feeling good. I'm in the studio, bro. And we've got Wobbly over here. Wobbly out here. He says, amazing. Moose is actually more repulsive and pointless than Jack and Snafu at their worst added together. I'd have to add, that's pretty fucking bad. Anybody could have took the wheel at any time. O'Shea being a world famous comedian, Danielle being Danielle, very well versed in the Bible. Jack, you could have took the wheel. You still haven't taken the wheel. You're the co-host of the show, but I'm kind of steamrolling you here. Hey, I was wondering if I could get 1 hour free of that live coaching lesson, and we could do it live. Let's do it. Let's do it right here. 1 hour free. 1 hour free. And then if we decide to move on, then we'll make it a paying gig. Danielle will have to take my spot for that.
Hey, Moose, is
Yeah.
there any way you can sacrifice your voice? Like
what do you mean?
Self-censor? Can you like yield? I know you have this urgency and this feeling that you got to talk all the time. Could you please? Because we could do actually. I believe we could do some pretty cool things.
All right, let's do this.
But not if you're always talking. And that's actually where Paul's probably coming from too. Paul could do some amazing, incredible things, but If you're just talking all the time, what the hell's going on, Moose? What are you here
All
for?
right. Before I shut up, I have to correct you there. Paul has done some amazing things and continues to do those amazing things.
Amen.
So I had to correct you there. Now go ahead. I yield.
No, you're correct. I didn't actually want to take over or co-host. I was hoping to support, and
Well, that's the best support you can give, sir, is carrying the broadcast. I mean, it's the most
allow Paul a
responsible
break.
job, most responsible, I guess. You got the you're responsible, right? You can do this.
Yeah. And you know what? That's I think Paul deserves a break. That man is committed and dedicated to what he does. And you know, I could imagine a little support, a little break might just be, even if it's just for a few minutes. Hey, Danielle, love what you're bringing. Welcome to you, the homeless AI.
Shalom, shalom.
What are your thoughts? You are a man. I wonder what's going on inside of your mind, Moose.
You are a man. I wonder what's going on inside your. Well, yeah. I mean, he's got fucking flashing lights. He's got the hood over his head. I mean, what the fuck is he thinking, right? Of course, we want to know what he's thinking. You're saying exactly what the audience is feeling.
I can't put it into words. There's just too much.
With the ancient butt plug and mask, hood to hide face.
Oh my goodness.
I feel so free.
I was told thinking too much leads to rage.
Is Moose still married? Are you angry? Are you upset? Are you in your feelings? Sorry, Jack.
Sorry.
That was kind of bizarre. That was a little fucked up. But here we have Snafu Snaps is here to save us. Snafu.
No, I'm just here to watch the wreckage go down. I'm gonna keep quiet since everyone gives me shit all the time. I'm just gonna watch you guys wreck.
I mean, how bad is this Snowball Walnut?
I love it.
First of all, you got Brian O'Shea, world famous, right? He's supposed to be able to carry the broadcast, right? He's supposed to be able to like set some jokes up. Not once, boom, not one joke landed the entire fucking time. Then he bounces out when Talcott gets here, right? Then Danielle comes up, puts on a fucking mask, puts on his hood. So like, I'm just gonna spell it out to you because this is the thing I was always best at when I was with Paul, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever. Is I could just call it out for everybody. Like this is the kind of shit is nobody can actually carry the broadcast. Nobody can actually like. No, I'm right. I'm 100% correct. Like nobody can carry this fucking thing. This is the God of all media's channel right here, and he built it up. It's got expectations. You know, you can't just sit here and talk about, oh, it's all about love, man. It's all about love. No, it's about results. Got to have results. Got to get results. Look, I'm telling you,
Moose.
Sorry, I'm in my imagination, brother.
Yeah. Your imagination is getting you to think that you're contributing value, but I think
I'm not even thinking that. I'm just pointing out how nobody else is contributing value and how I'm just talking because I'm like pointing it out.
Moose.
Like Snafu decided he wasn't going to contribute value today.
Moose.
You're over here trying to argue with me.
My presence contributes value, period.
dumbass. Right.
Oh, sorry. Am I really whispering? Is that better? Is that better? Check. Is that better? Is that better?
There you go.
Is that better?
All right, go ahead and continue
Is that
to kill the
better?
broadcast.
Is that better? Better?
Moose.
Is my sound better?
When it stops, it's the best. When you're silent.
I need to know like what level.
Watch here. I'll make a point. When I leave, it'll get worse. Watch.
God damn.
Moose doing what he does best, ruining broadcasts.
Check.
And Snafu offered something on his way out. See,
Here,
Snafu
you know
actually.
what? You guys think I'm the one ruining the broadcast. I'm just gonna leave and I'm gonna let you guys carry this thing.
Don't leave, Moose.
Don't have to leave, but maybe he does. For things to change and improve. Hey, Big Moose. What? Wait, what is that? I thought it was Jimmy there for a moment. I was excited.
Well, it's not your show, Jack.
It's ours. It is ours. It's all actually, that's what Paul produces. It's a co-creation that he hosts space for, and he not necessarily coordinates, but he does kind of orchestrate very beautifully.
Yeah, but see, at one point he wanted to become, very similar to the greats like George Carlin, Howard Stern, and then people like us came around, and it was like perfect. It was perfect, right? Almost. It was almost perfect because Justin, he had the short dude running around. He had the dude. He had like, just all kinds of like different people
You
he
sound like
had with
Charlie
him.
Brown's teacher, dude.
What?
Something happened to your audio. You sound like Charlie Brown's
What are you talking about? Charlie Brown's teacher.
Keys here.
What snafu?
Who can share the screen? Who has the keys here? Did Daddy leave all of you with no keys?
All right, there we go.
Well, so
Is it better?
Timmy
Is it better?
Timmy
Is it
was
better?
the new one keys, but he's been gone. He's all day today. Was late yesterday, the day before. He doesn't deserve those keys.
Yeah, that's the thing. None of you guys understand work ethic. And that's why I was such a valued, treasured person around here, because I'd show up every single day, regardless of whether I was wanted.
So Moose, are you still hanging out with fucking pedo host state?
Hey, Tarek, good to see you.
I think his newest thing said, I got doxxed for him. Oh, boo-hoo. Welcome to the digital experience.
All I'm going to say is I'm here right now. I'm here with you. I'm here in the Unslaved.
Snafu, you already know Moose is a snake, dude. Moose is a snake. That's the same guy that went to the motel and actually videotape and dox his own people in the motel. That's how dumb he is.
Can you suck on my, can I suck on your dick?
Fucking dumbass.
My name's Tarek, and I love the dick.
Moose, everybody knows you're a snake, dude. Stop acting. You're
There's
really
no
bad
snake
at
here,
it.
bro. There's no snake.
You are a snake, dude. You go from a channel to a channel, and you try to be fuck buddies with everybody.
You're so mad.
Moose.
I'm not mad.
Moose.
Yeah, you better take control of the show.
I'm very peaceful.
Why don't you go get ready for your presentation, all right? You got a presentation in 45 minutes that you're not even going to prepare for. We all know that you're going to sit there and, you're going to do, 45 minutes of just bullshit that you made up in your mind. And then we're going to get
did
to
you
the
guys
real
see
shit.
the Space Command logo? How it shows
All right, you got some
that.
notes. All right, finally. Thank God. Praise God. Praise God. I take it back.
See, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, and you don't stop talking. It's incredible, but
Red 40 is a keyboard warrior. You're a fucking keyboard warrior, Red 40. You're never up here like a coward.
Jack,
you definitely can talk and chat and keyboard it, but you've never shown on panels, you scumbag.
Yeah, Red 40 talks a lot, I know.
That was very important.
Yeah,
for
the keyboard a
Snafu to get
lot.
out.
Let's say keyboard a lot.
And Tarek,
he's
you're
probably-
the slimiest of the slimy, okay? You've been going around for the last 6 weeks crying about Paul in every single person's chat. Everywhere you go.
Paul, crying about what?
Who has,
Hold on, crying
He's
about
been
what?
calling the satanic pedophiles
Tarek.
out. You've been hanging out with
Yeah.
them. Good for
Yeah,
Tarek.
that's
You're
exactly
calling
why.
that shit out. You're the one cupcaking with satanic pedophiles. You dumb fuck, calling Tarek out.
You already know,
everyone
Moose.
out because it's the truth. It doesn't matter
No, the
what
truth
I've done.
is you hang out with
called me out
pedophiles,
for what I've
satanic,
done. That's fine.
peace
I admit
system
what I've
agenda
done.
fucking
But it
pogos.
doesn't stop you
Tarek's
from what
calling
you're
that
doing.
shit
You're
out,
acting like a fucking punk
and
bitch.
you still cupcake with those people.
Snafu, the truth
Jack,
is,
how do
he
we
doxed his
handle
own
this? You're
people
the
at his own
co-host here.
motel. I mean, that's how stupid Moose is.
I'm not supposed to say those words, all right?
Jack,
Big
I
Moose.
apologize.
I'm saying that to
Big
myself.
Moose. Hey,
I'm
when did you go from
trying
Big
not
Moose
to
to
curse
Producer
as
Moose?
much.
And Paul.
Hi, I'm Tarek, and I want to suck Paul's balls.
Give me the keys, Daddy. I need the keys, and I'll fix this broadcast.
I went everywhere, and I told everybody I hated you. And how
Oh,
you
you're
wanna
mad
die
because I
right
called
now.
out Cynthia in slow state? Is that why you're mad, bro? And some other people?
I didn't even know you did that.
No, come on. You know I did that. Stop
Ooh,
lying,
come
man.
on. Flow State, Pedo State's your new pal.
See, do you see this, Jack? You see this like insanity that
What,
comes
this
Yeah,
out
we
of
guy
see
him?
that,
fucking
yeah.
cupcake with fucking
Pretty
pedophile
fucking
supporters
insane.
named Host State?
He's sitting there telling on himself. Oh,
I don't think Jack cares about Flow State.
like I
Flow
follow
State's
him
been
around
talking
like a
mad shit
dog.
for the last week and a half about Jack Talcott. Mad
All right,
shit.
everybody yield. Jack Talcott needs a word. Go, Jack.
How do you feel about a pedophile supporter talking shit about you, Jack?
Sorry, I was muted. I encourage all of you to please just be yourself and see how you fit into these conversations. Holy cow, man.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, isn't it?
Look at
But
your
Jack, we do
I'm
try
not gonna
that.
look at myself. I'm gonna watch this back and I'm gonna be like, what did I do wrong? I did nothing wrong.
Do you know where you are right now?
You guys
Come
are
on,
acting like
Bruce.
clowns,
What'd you
not
do wrong?
me.
You did nothing wrong other than
Like,
hanging out with
I'm
pedophile
seeing
supporters.
everything real here. I'm seeing Tarek
You did
acting
nothing
like a
wrong.
punk bitch. He sees me come back. He comes up here to fucking suck daddy's dick. So he comes back up here, talks shit about me.
Dude,
Who,
I
Jack?
don't suck
Jack
nobody's
Talcott,
dick,
he's
that's for
coming
one
back
thing.
because
I
we
have
know
respect
Jack
for
is
But where did
people,
he
he's
even
come
if I
gonna
back
come
from?
disagree
He
with
back.
came
them.
back
It
from
doesn't matter
this
how many times
pedophile
Jack is
supporting
thrown out of the
Togo,
Unslaved Nation.
Fed Boy,
Like,
Proud Boy
he can
type
get
fuck.
tarred,
I'm kind of
feathered,
surprised you're
beaten,
surprised he's
robbed,
surprised.
stabbed, and he'll still come
Yeah, I'm
back to
kind
the
of
Unslaved
surprised you're
Nation.
surprised he's
Okay,
surprised.
I'm telling you, he's like a voodoo doll or something that just keeps coming back. Like he's always gonna come back. And
Oh,
then
we're doing the same
Snafu's
narrative.
calling out.
See,
He's
Cynthia,
calling out the good
Cynthia's doing
stuff.
the same shit now, saying I'm a wizard. Now Moose is saying I'm doing voodoo. This guy's they're all into it, dude. They're all into it.
If Moose would just
Jack,
separate himself from
Hey,
the
can
fuck
Jack get a
stars,
word in? He's got his
he'd be
finger
all
up
right.
and everything. You guys are disrespectful fucks.
If you could separate yourself from the fucktards, you'd be all right, Moose.
Snafu, did you? I'm sorry, Jack. Go ahead.
Thank you, please. I was trying to remember the right words from Robert's Rules of Order.
the right words,
Robert's Rules of
brother.
please yield. Robert's
Whoa,
Rules
whoa,
of Order
whoa,
are
whoa,
actually
whoa,
an
Jack, that was
incredible.
not nice.
Please yield.
He's not producer Moose, he's Big Moose now.
Please yield.
Wait. What? How are you going to tell me to yield?
I'm trying to raise a point of order and a
I'm
point.
trying to raise awareness, brothers and sisters. We're trying to end wars and suffering.
Yeah, I'm going to end wars and suffering, but I can't even get Big Moose or Snafu to yield.
What I'd like to do, I'd like
You
to
see how
bring
that
a
works, Moose?
motion to order. I'd like to bring a motion forward. I make a motion
Yeah,
that
well, I like to not
you
stop
remove
wars and end legal secrets. What are you going to do now?
briefly for a
I
little
support
while.
wars. I support legal secrets. What you
Is
going to
there
do
any
now?
second for the motion? Is there any second for the motion to remove Moose from
Just
this
saying
panel for a little while?
Banana Republic.
Praise God. Thank
Yeah, you have to let people speak, Moose.
Holy cows, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome and you're very blessed.
Well, Snap, you started out great, and somehow everything's like, I'm seeing it being drawn out chaos.
Everything's snafu?
What's that?
It's snafu.
Well, no, you started out great, Snafu, trying to observe and see what was going on. And, you know, I observed, to be honest, that Moose was kind of disrupting the stream. He's telling himself he's helping it, but I know Paul could do a lot more with this than just that. If Moose would just shut up. Hey, not
Jack, I have a question. I'm sorry. I have a question for you, sir.
Yeah.
Did you see the text that Hank left like yesterday on you and Paul?
I did. That was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if you see him, you'll be like, "What the hell? Why do I even have this guy on my panel?" I mean, he's just another snake.
I don't remember.
Snake Fu, if you have him, just send them. I mean, let him see the snakes.
No, you know
And,
what?
and
They deserve to
You
get
know what?
snake bitten. They deserve the snake bites if they're going to be hanging with the snakes.
Hey,
It's
you
kind
know
of like
what?
the Space Command logo. If you go look the Space Command logo up, it has the exact X with the solar eclipse flare up. Most you fucktards don't even understand what's happening within your face. Go look up the Space Command logo, and then
It's
go look up all
also
the
the
eclipse fucking that
Egyptian
they're pushing,
pharaoh on the
and say, "Oh, that
logo,
looks very
Star Trek
familiar."
logo. I can go hours for that about that kind of topic there.
Well, that we unfortunately
Yeah,
sometimes
brothers
these
and
fucking
sisters,
channels
we're
don't
about to
want me
end
to talk
more
about that shit,
suffering.
so we do it on my channel.
Hey, Jack, are you willing to be a life coach?
Unfortunately,
An
I don't know your channel.
online live life
Snafu
coach.
Crew.
Are you gonna change my
Drop
life,
it in the
Jack?
private chat.
Come on, Jack.
Yeah,
Change
just
my
Snafu
life.
Crew. KREW. SNAFU.
I'm asking you
KREW.
here live on the Unslaved Network.
I got an uploaded video. I was gonna wait till Paul gets done and then probably play it or right before he's done. No promises, but
He's running. He's
the
running. He's
Space
not.
Command
He's
logo
not.
is the exact same look.
You want me to
X
show
marks
up
the
on your
spot. Same
channel?
thing.
Are
No,
we gonna do some
please.
kind of life coaching?
Not the way that you are.
I found it.
Wait,
Not
you're not
yet.
willing to do any life coaching.
Well, you're not willing to
You're
listen.
doing a good job, by the way.
You're
Hey,
not
wait,
willing
don't leave, Jack.
listen.
Hey, I tell you what, I'm gonna listen and you
All right.
speak.
All right, we'll see. I got to go take care of some things. So
Wait,
Whoa,
stay
whoa!
here.
Where are you
That's-
running?
Stay
You're
here.
the co-host of the show, Jack. You can't leave Daddy alone. Holy shit! Jack just left Daddy alone. Holy shit! Daddy gave him the co-host position and he runs?
There
What the
goes
fuck,
another one
dude?
that couldn't hang. That's the thing. None of you guys can hang. None of you guys can ever take my
Oh,
spot.
don't tell me I can't hang. I just want the
can't hang.
keys.
Like,
Then
I've
I
seen
can
your
hang.
videos. Your videos
sure
make
he-
me cringe. The first, 5 minutes of your videos make me want to fucking jump off a bridge.
All right,
Well,
Moose.
That's probably
Find out
because the world's
first
coming to
video
an end.
in the background.
No, you would rather hang out with a pedophile supporter and just gab about clairs and earrings and fucking dick and shit over
No,
at
that's
Flo's
you.
and fucking know about real world optics.
No,
Just
that's
like I
you.
said, you guys go type in Space Command logo, just like the Space Force logo has a Sphinx on it. Okay?
That's you.
Yeah, that's you. No, I'm talking about real shit, dude. The Space Command logo with the Eclipse logo, it's the same fucking.
Yeah,
It's a
bro,
mirror.
I'm talking real stuff.
They're
I'm
putting the
talking stuff.
messaging in front of you.
I'm talking stuff I can't. I have
But,
no
but let's talk
control
about
over.
gay, pedo,
Let's
fucking
talk
pogo,
about like real
post
stuff.
date, earbud
Stuff
boy.
I can't control through the Ouroboros.
Yeah, you can't control, but you can definitely hang out with motherfuckers that push pedophile optics.
Do you
Post date.
understand what you're doing here?
I
You're
understand
making a
exactly what's
complete
saying, and now
ass
he's
out of
crying like a
yourself
bitch because he
and
got
the
doxxed.
entire show.
And he should
You're
be
making a
doxxed like a
mockery of
little
the
pedophile
show.
supporter he is.
Snafu, I'm gonna let you take over. I can't do this anymore.
I'm gonna let you handle the show, Moose.
And just like that, one by one, we have one
That took
victim
a
left.
strange turn of events.
So Danielle,
Yes.
do you have any thoughts on how we can become more free? As a people, as a person, as a country?
Honestly, people need to come together and I don't want to say that word. That's the wrong word.
Come together.
Repossess. Take repossession of the government.
Thank you. Because when you say come together, I think of all of us standing in a room around a biscuit or something, and Jack Talcott's just not, he's not up to the task.
Well, a biscuit does sound pretty good. And that's homemade biscuit.
Okay, so how are we going to do this? How are we going to become free?
We could need assistance of Mark.
I don't know. I'm totally bombing, so I need you to come through.
Hi, Moose. It's Margot.
Margot, what is going on? How are
See
you
the
doing?
assistance of Margot.
How are you doing today, Margot?
I am fabulous. We got rid of Jack. That made my day.
Did you see how easy it was?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
I like this experiment that Paul's doing. It's showing the people that can, persevere and those that fail.
Yeah, and it's funny because like most of these people know me, so they should know how to like trigger me, or they should know how to like work with me or something,
Well, that would take intelligence.
Yeah. Not everybody has it, but that's why you're one of my favorites.
Oh, that's why you're one of my favorites too.
I appreciate
Who's joined us down here? I can't see his name.
That's Danielle.
Oh, Danielle had the
Margot,
cool
I got a
mask.
bone to pick with your ass.
Hey, Snafu, what's up?
So you claim you're stand for the children on the ground. You claim you fucking stand up for those who are victims of pedophilia optics and so much more. But yet you cupcake with Flow State, who supports pedophiles and fucking pushes up fantasies of old men with children taped to the walls and raped and kidnapped. So what's the deal with you hanging out with Flow State when he's supporting pedophiles? When you want to tell me that, if you knew what I did on the ground, me and you might become to terms better, because what I see you doing is fucking supporting pedophilia optics versus standing up against them. Everyone knows the whole optics for Flow State and Monograph. Ignore that. Interesting, but you work on the ground for innocent children. I call bullshit if you're gonna support people like Flo. Interesting.
Hey, Snafu. When's the last time you've been to the doctor?
Don't worry about it, Moose.
Snafu, may I respond?
You can respond. I asked you a question, and you damn well know the old man pushes pedophilia fantasy of rape. Flow Space's been doubling down on that, and yet you want to sit here and say, "Well, me and Snafu probably get along because if he knew what I did on this, we looked into what you do and everything and what you're about and blah blah." And what I'm finding interesting is, you got some whatever. My curiosity is how you're supporting pedophile optics like Flow State.
Snafu, take a breath, bro. Let her answer.
Well, I don't believe rumors.
It's not a rumor. See, this is where you get it wrong. You didn't see the video with Monograph having the child tied to a wall, fucking making rape fucking into windows and all that? It's known. It's known. It's very known. This is where
I don't go on the.
No. You're gonna defend Flow State here.
No, I'm not defending anybody.
All right, you
I
better
want to
get
make
your
a comment. I'm going to chime in. So in Margot's defense, Snafu, you have made some accusations. I have tried to find evidence myself of.
We have.
Hold on, sir. No, time out.
Why do you think we're not going to court? They don't want us to court.
No. I want to finish what I'm saying. And I have asked you multiple times in the past to provide said information.
Sure, let me put some things in the backstage for you. Just optics.
That would be awesome. Because I used to watch some of the people you said, like Montegraph. I used to watch him. But if he's a pedo, I would like to see the evidence proves it,
I'm not going to go looking for any of that stuff.
Of course you're not. You support Flow State and a pedophile supporter, and you're part of that group. And you claim you stand for innocent children on the ground, but you're sitting next to one of the biggest pedophile racketeering rings online.
Okay, Snafu. Noted. Noted.
It's like
anything else?
When does it end? When does it end? Right? That's probably what Paul.
Do you want to accuse me of anything else, Snafu? You've got the stage.
Margot, we know what you're about. We see what you're about. We see how you're obviously in love with Jack. You obviously have a hard on. Your vagina's fucking hard for Jack. It's obvious.
Okay. Anything else? Oh, wait a second. Who's we when you say we know what you're all about? Who's this we?
Yeah, he doesn't want to answer that because
Yeah.
he might have the white coats coming for him. Do a little wellness check, you know.
Well, I mean, when I have issue with someone, I say I, and this is what I believe, and this is what I think. I don't throw in the we.
He's got his
Oh, that's
dark
easily
side, his
because
light
many
side.
people see you have a hard on for Jack. You don't look at the chat. They're like, this bitch fucking wants to fuck Jack and have his babies. It's not just me.
Snafu,
It's
you are one of the
me.
most
You are a
disrespectful
dumb
Snafu, I'm
hoe
sorry,
that
but
is
if you
obsessed with
think
Jack's outside.
if you
You
think I'm
want his
concerned
babies.
about what people
But
think
you're
of
kind of
me,
too old.
then you don't know what I'm about.
I know you support pedophile supporters.
I don't care if you believe that. Your opinion of me doesn't mean anything to me or probably anyone.
It obviously does because the tone of your voice. You're very triggered Karen Granny Panty right now. But see, you support pedophiles. You fucking support Flow State and them. You also fucking have a hard on for Jack and the harassing.
Hey, you're making people leave. Numbers are
Now
dropping.
you're repeating yourself.
We've lost like 20 people.
And you're bothering Paul's audience.
Danielle, I didn't do a shit for Paul or bothering Paul. You're a fucking dumb bitch. Hey, I put that in your backstage.
Yeah, usually when I'm losing the argument or I don't have anything smart to say, I usually call someone a dumb bitch.
Well, I would if I felt
Hey,
it
when
was
did you
necessary.
start realizing you wanted Jack's nuts? It'd probably be easier to ask him on a date than just fuck with him like you do.
I know that's fucked up, isn't it?
I don't any longer.
Oh,
Wait, you don't want him anymore? Or you
So you did like him, now you don't, but now you're telling everyone you don't because you really still do.
Now we got
You admitted you like Jack's outside. Ladies and gentlemen, Margot admitted she wanted Jack's balls just now.
Snafu, are you a convicted arsonist?
Bro, she just admitted she wanted Jack's nuts.
No,
you heard it out of
you
her own
didn't answer
mouth.
the question. I just asked you, are you a convicted
Well, you're
arsonist?
twisting my words.
No, you said
what
not
I
anymore.
meant
You
was-
said, so in other words, you wanted his balls. Now you don't, but I think you're lying because you still do.
my words.
She admitted she wanted Jack's balls on the screen. We will review the footage. You said not anymore. In other words, I wanted his balls.
Okay, Snafu.
Dude, I heard it out of your mouth.
Okay, all right.
And so did the rest of the fucking stream.
Well,
now it makes sense why Margot is always on Jack's ass. She has a crush on him.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating. What are you going to do with that little tidbit of information? How does that change anything in the world?
It doesn't. It's disgusting.
Well, again, I don't care what people.
You instead of asking the man for a date, you play games with him.
Oh,
is that what she's doing? Because I thought it might be going on.
Randy Reeves, who was in Kiwi Farms with pedophile optics. Randy Reeves, Mad Mystic, calling everyone gun. Hey, Randy, yo bitch Mystic, man. That little fucking cunt of a whore, by the way, sticking needles in voodoo dolls, screaming fucking satanic shit. Man, Randy Reeves, a cowboy, dating a satanic voodoo fucking witch. Randy Reeves, we're gonna find you, bro.
Do you take medicine? Snaps? Could you
Randy Reeves!
Hey, Moose, I've got an idea. Moose.
Yeah.
Randy was so tripping. He apparently emailed Paul 100 times.
Let's sit our little snafu down and have a good aunt and uncle talk with him.
And
Margot, I'm not Jack. I'm not gonna fucking be like taking your flirty, weird high school shit.
It's Aunt Margot to you, honey.
No, it's Mommy Margot, because while I flip your tits while you're fucking sucking Jack's tit, metaversely.
Well,
We'll double DP you, Margaret. I'll get Jack and me metaversally.
Snaps,
I would like to give you up for adoption. I've really thought about it, and I think it's the
You have
best
no
thing for
respect
me.
for me. You hang out with pedophile supporters, and then you claim you stand up for children. You're a fucking scumbag, Margot.
So,
Oh,
hey, why is this
okay.
guy saying that you touch your own child?
Metaversely will DP her. I
I
bet
don't
Jack
know.
will blame him.
No,
He
I'm
was
saying
known
this
as
guy in the
Snowball
chat.
Walnuts at one
So
time.
anyway, Snaps, I think you're on the roasting block now. All right, Margo.
You know, and you have to wonder why is Snafu following me around to
Oh, now
different
I'm
outlets?
following you and harassing you. This is the first time I called your bitch ass out. Okay? This is the first time I called your bitch ass out, and now the Me Too weaponized. You're following
No, but
me.
I mean, for
literally,
reals, like she
Margo,
comes
you're
up
the
here
last
and she
person
wants
I
to
would
she wants to have a
follow if you
conversation.
have
Maybe
a
she want to
hard-on
talk
for
with
Jack
Paul or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
You called your
instead,
hard-on
you
for
just
Alcott out.
railroad
Now
her,
I'm
right? You
harassing
just
and
railroad her
following you.
like that.
You dumb Me Too
It's a
weaponized
lack of
bitch.
intelligence.
You weaponized hoe.
It's terrible.
I know.
You know
I
what? We will
think
talk
what it is.
Spokane since
I
I'm in
think what it is,
contact with Town
Snaps.
Hall.
I
Let's
think
talk about Margo to Spokane as well.
I
I'll
think
let
you
them
got
know
a
she's
thing for
harassing Jack
anti-Margo.
Talcott and all this other shit. And now I'm apparently harassing her. Well, I'll
Answer the
talk to
question. I got a
Spokane
question for you.
officials about Margo and get the scoop about her ass.
Reset. Snaps.
No,
Reset.
no, we're gonna show her the monograph videos and flow state. Say, hey, here's Margo hanging out with these pedophile supporting fucks. Margo, welcome to the
the
digital
mayor's
experience.
phone number?
No. I'm gonna do what you did to Jack.
Okay.
What you've been doing to Jack for years. I'm gonna start doing it to you now, Margo.
I dare
Since I'm
you.
harassing you. Since I'm now harassing you, let's make it something. I'm not gonna harass you. I'm just gonna do my part in warning people about you.
Go for it,
I'm gonna
please.
sit in the
You're a
back until
pedophile
the
supporting bitch.
destruction of the channel's over.
You do what you feel that will make you feel
Go
like a better
fucking ask
person.
Jack on a date, you dumb cunt, or quit harassing him.
Okay, Snafu, that's the first thing I'm going to do is take advice from you.
Good. You'll see it was much easier to ask the man on a date than play this fucking hug a buddy, fuck a buddy high school shit with him.
Oh, okay. All right, Snafu, thanks.
Not a mystic, ducky.
All right.
These people learn the hard way. All your threats have been documented. Hey, Brandy Reeves, your death threats documented, given to proper authorities. Gigi, Gone Girl, death threats documented, given to proper authorities. Monograph, death threats documented, given to proper authorities. All you motherfuckers out there, don't forget the crew's watching, and we do watch over each other. Tarek's now receiving death threats as well. So as many other people receiving death threats because of criminal charity veteran fraud, plus the pedo pogo optics, and so much more. Margo, you're just a fucktard that supports those people involved. That's why you're not even on my radar. But now I'm apparently harassing you because I call your ass out once for fucking having a hard on for Jack, which you admitted. You admitted you wanted his balls. You admitted on the stream, I wanted Jack Talcott's balls. You had said it.
That you were harassing me?
It's time. It's time to
Yeah,
take a
you
rest.
absolutely tried to pull the harassment card, you dumb
Take a
weaponized
break,
woman.
Snafu. Breathe.
You dumb weaponized
Take
bitch.
a breath.
All right. Anything
And
else?
you know you want Jack Talcott's balls. You admitted it on the stream tonight. We're gonna
Get it
clip
out,
it.
honey. Get it all out. Get it all out.
We will.
Come on.
Jack, we'll clip it. She said at one time she wanted your balls,
You're
bro.
jealous.
Now I
You're
believe
just
Jack.
jealous.
Now I
and
believe
that's a
what Jack
sad
was
thing.
saying the whole
There's
time
nothing
about
that's
you.
interesting about
Now I
that.
believe what Jack was
There's
saying the whole
nothing
time about you, Margo.
informative about that. There's nothing that we need to know about that.
It's okay,
but
honey.
You, Snafu, brought that up.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep, baby. It's okay. It's gonna be all right.
Time to take a nap.
You'll like the family that are giving you up for adoption to. You'll like them, we promise. Maybe. Well, no, I'm not gonna promise.
Hey, Randy, you gonna beat your fucking daughter's mother? Are you gonna beat Mystic too? Randy, the known wife beater.
How do you
Your
work
own
with
children
someone
didn't even
like
want to
this?
talk to you, Randy, because you hit their mommy.
How do
You
you work
hit their
with
mommy,
this?
Randy. You gonna beat Mystic up too? Fucking clown ass fuckers.
Get it all out, Snafu. Come on. Come on, get it all out.
Margo, I understand you now. You now told us all you wanted Jack's balls at first. I have better understanding why you
What's
do
wrong
what
with
you do
that?
with Jack.
What is wrong with it? You never answered the
Nothing's
question.
wrong. I just think she should quit playing the game and just
Then
said, Jack,
shut
let's go to
up.
dinner.
You're
She's being a
But
fucking
Snafu,
dinosaur, playing games with
Snap,
you, man.
fucking insane.
she's here to play the game, Snap. She just told you, like, you're following her around, creep. You know, the same thing Cynthia and other Karens and Venus and all of them say. So it's the same tactics. Anybody can see through it. It's
Hey,
the fake
Randy,
mug.
he's also threatening LCJC family, all documented as well, Randy.
all out.
I hope your
Get it all
lawsuit
out.
when you guys bring it, all the death threats, all the threats, and then if anything happens to
Get it
any
all
one of
out.
the people putting out the truth, you just remember those who we have listed
it all
are
out.
already under fucking watch. Like they will be
Going.
fucking asked and
It'll make
questioned.
your tummy ache go away.
You know
Get it
what,
all
bitch?
out.
You fucking stand with pedophiles and supporters while we're taking on some of the biggest ones here online. Monograph with the lamb mask, fantasizing about rape and torture or kidnapping in a satanic way.
Wait,
Fuck
hold on,
you,
hold on.
Margo.
Let's be real quick. You're not taking down anybody. Thank you. Peace. I yield.
Thank you, miss.
Tarek, did you hear Margo wants Jack's balls? She admitted it just now.
I heard it. And Margot, I don't think she wants his balls, to be honest.
No,
I
she
think
said
she's
she
here.
at one point did.
Yeah, she said that.
she
She said
did
that.
want
But I don't think that's why she's here, Snafu. She's here for a reason. She's part of the group.
Yeah, she's here to fucking, you know,
I got
probably
a
get
question
Jack
for you,
balls.
Tarek. Every time a woman is disrespected, you're usually the first one that stands up, but you didn't for Margot. Is that because Margot has a hots for you?
No, I believe not. And Moose, you're so
It's because you're a
fake. I can't.
jealous bitch. It's because you're a jealous bitch.
I never
Tarek.
been jealous at all in my
Always
life,
have
so I
been. You
won't even
always
reply.
You know, I did get a DM from Tarek saying that he was jealous of you, Moose.
Oh,
Be
you did?
honest, Margo, why did you want
Hold
Jack
on.
balls and what
I
changed you from wanting to not want
DM.
them?
This is a lie, Margot. I never DM
Oh
anybody.
no, I took a screenshot of it.
Okay, I said I'm jealous of Moose.
Yes.
Okay, so please bring it up. Make sure it's not the fake Tarek, because I would never say that.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a million fake Tarks around. This bitch thinks she got you. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's
but that's
how
what
dumb
they're doing.
these fucking people are, Tarek.
That's what they're
fucking
doing. I know,
idiots.
it's their
Just like
tactics.
her claiming she helps children on the ground, innocence, but she
Anyways, you
sides
guys are
with the
still
pedophile
blah, blah,
supporters on
blah,
that.
blah, blah.
I
We're about
know.
45 minutes into the blah, blah,
claims
blah.
she
Are
does
we going
good
to
for
get
the
to
children
somewhere
or
where it's
innocent,
like
but she
relevant
sides
for
with the
people to
people who
actually
brag
continue
about
watching the
fake
broadcast?
fantasies
Or are
of
we
rape,
just going to
torture,
keep blah,
kidnapping,
blah, blah,
flow
blah,
state
blah?
monographing them.
I know.
Fucking sick fucks.
So let me ask Margot a question, though. How do you feel about, like, Jack and Cynthia and Flow State now? Like, you're best buddies with Cynthia and Flow, right? Now they're talking all bad about Jack. So how do you feel about that, Margot?
I have no association any longer with Jack. I support Dominic and Dominic's girlfriend and their child.
See, why
Yeah,
are you
but-
bringing up his children? Why are you bringing
Yeah,
up his business? She wants his balls, and she's sure she's trying to destroy him. But that's women who want men's balls, period. That's why men are going their own way. These fucking crazy bitches like Margo. Jack. I don't blame you,
Fucking
man.
snaps. That's the thing. You're jealous. You're acting like a jealous, broken hoe.
They
Stop
both
it.
are. It's
Jealous
sad.
of Margo? Dude, her pussy probably
You
remembers
guys
when
are
Baskin
just
Robbins
acting
had
like
one
jealous,
flavor.
broken hoes.
Yes.
Mr. Jack Talcott, can you please come back up here, please? I know
Well,
you're
if
busy.
if
you're
Jack
never
comes
busy.
up, then I have to leave.
But see,
Oh, you want Jack's
Oh, never mind,
balls.
Jack.
You want
Margo is
Jack's
much,
balls. Why would
much
you
more
leave if you want
preferred
the man's balls?
panel member.
Oh no.
But
If you want to have Jack up, that's fine. I just have to leave. I've made a commitment.
Oh,
But
no, I'm gonna
Margo,
help
you
you
never
stick to that
answered the
commitment. We're all
question.
right. Jack has his own channel.
I know you never answered the question, Margo. You kind of deflected. I asked the question. Since you used to be best friends with Cynthia and Flow State, and I'm assuming you still are, in terms of the metaverse, how do you feel
Hey, hold on, I
about
gotta
now
cut you off
them?
real quick, Tarek. Jack Talcott
No, you're not gonna
says
cut me off. Hold
Margo
on. How do you feel
supports the
about them
separation
hating
of
on
father
Jack
and
and
son.
spreading rumors?
That is
yesterday,
an
Margo was
interesting
talking Jack
character to
up,
me.
trying to help,
So,
show how much he cared about him.
Margo,
And now she's
Jack's
laughing
down
at
there
his
saying
son
that
and
you
all that
support the
shit.
separation of father and son.
Margo,
Jack,
you're
I have a
a sick
question for you,
bitch.
Jack. Did you
You're a
ever
sick bitch.
buy anything for your son off of that list? And did
No,
you
Margo's
send?
playing Jack like a fucking
Listen.
fiddle and
Did
trying
you
to
ever
use his
put
family issues
in the
against
gift
him,
card that
sick bitch.
hey, this is
I
Jack
done it, but I keep
Talcott,
it
your
real.
father?
I don't play
I
these
bought you
games
something.
back and forth like
Did
her.
you do that, Jack? You had a whole list of stuff you could buy for them, and you told people to buy it for them. And you could write a little gift card in there, right? And you could put a little letter to your son. Did you do that?
Let Moose talk. Let it get it out, Moose. Get it out. I know you have to get it out. Get it out.
No, it's not about getting it out. It's about just being clear because I'm asking Jack.
Okay, so let me ask you a question,
No, we're
Moose.
bringing everybody to task here, okay? Especially you, Tarek. You've been sitting
Moose,
here
Moose,
licking
you hang
balls,
out with pedophiles supporting
going to all these channels,
Really,
acting like a broke
Tarek has
bitch.
nothing to fucking
and
owe you or listen to you.
I'm getting tired
or
of it.
think anything of what you
Snafu,
say.
you're talking
And I
over me
wouldn't
again.
blame
You're
him.
disrespecting
I
me. You're
wouldn't
pissing
blame
me off.
Tarek one bit for disregarding most of the shit you say.
That's okay. Let him talk. Let him get it out. Let him get it out. He's upset. Let him get it out. Maybe he's mental.
Nobody's
Let him get it
upset.
out.
You're totally wrong about this whole situation, Tarek. It's just how I see things.
You're
I
good,
see
Miss.
things
You're good,
clearly.
Good.
You're like the
Moose,
number one
have you
broken
been
hoe
to a
lately.
mental doctor lately at all, or no? I'm just wondering.
It's so
Mental
funny that now Tarek is saying stuff that Snafu said like 5 minutes ago. It's like a trend.
Oh yeah, we're a team. We're on the same crew,
No,
right? Is that what you want to hear?
A team, Margo, not team fucking stinky tuna bitch, weaponized hoe.
Let's be respectful, Snafu. That's okay. I don't agree with Snaps on the calling.
Shit. You Margo, you clowning on Jack about his kids and stuff because you're trying to rub it in his face and be hateful. You dumb cunt.
And
hold
here
on,
you go.
Snaps.
Wait, hold on. The same very person that you're like trying to hate on and trying to destroy, you're becoming, right? Because you become the hateful little bitch.
Who? A pedophile
So see, I'm
supporter?
not afraid of
Floyd?
that anymore. See,
They
like I didn't
definitely
want to be a
understand.
hateful little motherfucker, but
I'm not
see,
afraid
I can
either.
adopt that part of
Margo
my
supports
personality now.
pedophiles. I have no respect for people like that.
Snaps, nobody has respect for you. You're just
That's your opinion.
You're just
That's
a
your
clown
opinion.
sideshow in the circus. Like everywhere you
That's
go,
your
you're just a
opinion.
sideshow.
That's your
Everybody
opinion,
who's on these guru fuck panels really could care less. I could give two shits, Moose.
Then why are you here?
Hold on, let me
If you could
ask.
really not
Well, I'm
give
here
two
for many
shits, why are you
reasons.
here? Stop
Moose,
lying to
you said.
yourself. Stop fucking lying to yourself.
I know, but Moose, you said I've been going to every channel, right? Is that what you said? Is that what you said? I've been going to every channel.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Tarek. Can you say that again, Tarek? You're breaking up.
What I'm saying, you said earlier
Old man's
that
fantasy
I'm
of
going to every channel, like every channel.
Oh yeah, like you went over to what was it, Gen X Jeffs, and you were acting like a broken hoe over there. You went to Jack Talcott's. You were acting like a broken hoe in the chat, like daily, almost daily, for weeks on end. I can go back and we can clip out all the little screenshots of your chat. Broken hoe all the way down.
Gotcha.
Let's see what else.
Get it out. Whatever you gotta say about me, get it out, Miss.
No, I respect you, Tarek. I think that like
I don't respect you, but God, I wish well for you, but I don't respect you.
I understand that there's a part of you that I
once
dislike
respected
because it's a part of me that I
hard for me to
dislike.
respect him when he
So
keeps
it's
going
like
back
it's
to the
totally
pedophile
understandable,
bullshit.
and I love you for that. It's okay. It's
Okay,
all
so
right
Moose-
that you're acting like a broken hoe because
No problem. Okay.
everything
See,
you turn
Moose,
around.
here's the thing. You can call me a broken hoe. You call me anything you want. You're not gonna trigger me. I don't get triggered that easy. Now, here's my
Me a
reply.
broken hoe. Or
I promise you, Margo, I'm not triggered at all. You haven't seen triggered.
Well, thank you everybody today for coming to the Paul Unslaved channel. This is a total train wreck, and if you'd like to donate, there is
I want to know what
a
Jack
link
did
at the
to
bottom of the
Margo.
channel.
Because just 2 days ago,
You
she
can
was
donate
making a
some
whole
hard-earned
fucking
fiat
clout
currency
image and how
or
she's
just a
this
piece of your
lovely
ass.
character here to help
Whichever's
Jack Talcott and be there
whichever
for
one
him.
you'd like to
And
give,
then
as
just
long as it's
now,
female.
she's like, fuck
Alright.
him, I'm done with him, or I don't support him.
I'm
Only
gonna yield over to Snafu Snaps and the Insanity.
yeah, I want
Go
to know
ahead,
what's
Snaps.
the deal with that,
Give 'em what
Margo.
you
How
got.
quick was the switch up with Jack? What'd he do to you?
I'm not discussing Jack Talcott ever again.
No,
Okay,
what
so
did
that's
he do
good.
to you? You just
She's not gonna discuss him.
discuss Jack Talcott again. Can we get that promise right now?
Absolutely.
Online? You're never gonna discuss Jack Talcott again, right, Margo? You just said that.
Who?
Just like she said earlier that she wanted Jack Talcott's balls. Now we know she said she'll never discuss Jack Talcott again. I yield.
Can we take a moment to raise some money for
So
Wizards
when you
cancer
mentioned Jack
research?
Talcott,
that's a good idea.
There you go, Jack. You're welcome, pal. The crazy bitch is off your ass. Hopefully.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a
Or else she
former
just
member
told a
of the
lie in front of
panel.
everyone.
He's out there grifting. He needs money to pay the bills. His name's Wizard. And
Okay.
I'd like you
Go
to
ahead,
help out with
Moose.
that. Tarek,
Okay.
will you give from your heart and from your wallet to our friend Wizard?
No, I won't.
To help bring
I
him
have
back.
contributed to many channels when they have good content and they have something that's good. Besides that, if you're a piece of shit,
you
if you're a
help
pedophile supporter, I won't.
Wizard's lights on? Will you help
No.
me today?
Randy Reeves, proper authorities know your death threats, pal. Keep it up,
Let
buddy.
him, I know he's in the chat. Let him be in the chat. Let him talk. He's
I
in the
feel like
chat.
I'm
He's in the
walking
chat.
down like the street in Oakland, right? And you've got
Hey,
one
Moose.
fucking dude babbling on the corner, and you've got another dude babbling to himself on the corner.
Moose.
And you're just trying to make the decision. You're like, do
He
I
won't
cross the
listen,
street?
Margo.
Do I not cross the street? Do I just get back in the car and fucking just go drive all the way back home? Like,
Hey, Moose,
Let me
I
know when
gotta
you're
check
done.
out. I got a tea time at 3:30.
oh, sorry about that, Margo.
That's okay, love. I'll
Hopefully
talk to
we
you
could
later,
talk
okay? Have a
again
good
soon.
day.
That was
All right,
it
bye-bye.
was so pleasant. It was
I
great to
know.
have you.
Oh, now
Have a
now it
wonderful
looks
tea
like
time.
Randy or someone's calling me from a 303 number, Terry.
Yeah, yeah, I know. They're all fake, bro. Fake.
Peace and love, brothers and sisters. All right, so I want to
Margo,
talk to you guys about
Margo.
peace and love. Today we're going to talk about peace and love, and if you just love yourself and you love yourself enough, you don't have to go to work. Okay, you can love yourself enough to stay home, not do any
Hey,
work at
Snafu.
all,
Can
and
I?
you
I'm
can
gonna.
still survive.
Oh my God, he won't shut the fuck up. Snafu, can I ask you a question? Did you remember
Excuse
yesterday we
me.
were talking about?
I'm
Okay,
talking
man.
about how you live without work.
Holy God, with this fucking
Just
guy.
talk, Terry. Fuck him. Go ahead,
I know.
talk.
Tarek, I don't
Remember
understand
yesterday
why
we
you're
were
getting
talking
so hot
about
and
the
bothered.
goal.
Do you need 2
Remember
minutes or
yesterday we were talking
5
about the
minutes? I'll give
goal.
you two or 5 minutes. What do you want, Tarek?
Go.
2 or
Go.
Terry, you
5?
gotta just talk and not listen to his dumb ass and say what you
All
gotta
right.
say.
I know, and he's just annoying. Remember yesterday we were talking about the goal, and we had different opinions. Paul explained
Remember
it, and you said the
when
Bible part.
Tarek
And
wasn't
I
such
said,
a
shut the
bitch?
fuck up, Moose, for a
Remember
second, please. I'm asking
when
you respectfully. Be quiet for
he
1
didn't
second.
jump at every itch? Remember
There we go.
when he was Paul's best friend?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Speak
Remember
until you're
when?
done, because I can talk over you, Moose. You're a bitch. I can talk over you, but I'm not
Hey,
going to
look,
talk over
look,
you.
I feel things to
Tarek can
accomplish today.
hardly
Margo
speak.
admitted she wanted Calcott's balls,
His knees are
and
getting
also
weak.
fucker said
Every
she would
time
not
he
talk about
comes
Calcott
around,
ever again.
Paul Unslaved,
So
his mouth
now we have
gets
optics, and Margo
open.
will find out if you hold true to your optics.
All right, go ahead,
All
Tarek.
right. Thank you so much, Moose. You're very generous. You're very respectful. Thank God. Yesterday we were talking about the goat. Remember, Snafu?
I was walking down the street the other day when hence I saw a sight which filled me up with fright.
You know,
Made me
it's funny
say,
you play
oh
Randy
Lord,
Reed's video here,
this
but all the
fellow
death threats
with his
Randy Reed has
muscle
done on
shirt
everyone.
was
We should play
flashing
some of
like the
those videos.
skin, but he didn't seem to notice all the folks that stared and grinned. His boobs were hanging out and flopping like two bowling pins.
His cowboy dating a voodoo witch.
How many men do you think Tarek's been with?
Randy, this cowboy.
Those man boobs, they're blown up like an inner tube. Man boobs, bouncing like a kangaroo. Man boobs, they're not something you get used to. I won't let man boobs get the best of me.
That was beautiful. That was so
That was good, Paul. I know. I'm sure Paul hit that one. That was nice.
Danielle, look in the backstage. You wanted all the optics? Mr. Randy Reeves being in a pedophile Kiwi Farm forum. That's why he called all the women gun burglar, right, Randy Reeves? And that's why he defended Monograph from the start, Randy Reeves,
Yeah, I
right?
understand. I've been talking for
Mr. Randy Reeves.
Come on, Snaps. Like, for the love of
Come on,
fucking
I don't
God,
give a
just
fuck
let
anymore.
it
These
out,
people
dude.
are
Just
dangerous.
let it
They're
out.
dangerous,
Like, one
pedophile,
fucking sentence. You
traitors,
can do it
criminals,
like
and frauds.
1 to
I
5
don't give a flying
sentences. You don't
fuck.
need to take like 5 to 10 minutes about bullshit, all right? You're fucking insane.
Anyway, Danielle, check it out.
Anyways, Daniel, let me just check it out, brother. I'm just gonna dodge and misdirect and deflect from my insanity. I wish Moose would leave. Fucking hate Moose. God, why did he ever come back to this channel? Could have just left Paul alone. But I miss my homie. Tell you what, I didn't miss all you fuckers though. You guys are the reason I left.
Hey, notice Not a Mystic is saying pick up the call, Tarek and chat.
Do you understand what I just said? Do you
Venus
ever
docs my
listen?
number.
Do you
Proper
ever?
authorities and
Are
people
you
have it.
aware
All
of
you fuckers
anything
that keep calling
in
it,
your
just
life
know
ever,
that it's all
Snaps?
documented.
I just said
So
you're the
Not a
reason why I
Mystic.
left.
We
You,
got the
Tarek,
screenshot saying pick
people
up the
with low
call. Yeah,
intelligence,
there we go. A screenshot. Thanks for showing us.
people that don't shut the
Appreciate
fuck
it.
up.
All these fucktards who had my number doxed who actually are making death threats now saying, hey, I'm calling. That's just going to help me more if something
You
happens
don't
to me
have death
or we end
threats.
up
You're
in
acting
court.
like a
So I appreciate
victim.
it, Paul. Thanks for
Why
throwing
are
that
you
up for all to
victimizing
see.
here?
All documented, Not a Mystic. Or
Nobody
should I
wants
say,
to hear you act
Ducky,
like a
who's covered
victim,
up
dude.
veteran charity fraud with Marfugal TV and News. Not a Mystic.
I gotta get out of
Who
here.
covered up veteran charity fraud with Marfugal TV and News. Not a Mystic. You guys won't intimidate the Truthio or the crew, you fucktards.
Look, you win, Snaps. You win. You've like I thought I could outlast everybody, but like you win. You're like the #1 troll. You're kryptonite to a broadcast. The numbers go down when you come around. That's why you have 1 to 5 people watching.
Hey,
your
now he's
broadcast.
freaking out in chat saying I gave him the number, told him to call. That's an absolute lie, dude. It's documented. Venus and you guys doxed the number out. It's documented. All you fucktards been calling my phone. I made it specific, like, fuck no, don't call personal number. But at this point, I don't care.
So illegal.
It's not illegal to call someone, but I don't care, bro. The proper authorities have your shit because you covered up veteran charity fraud with Marfugal TV News, and so do other whistleblowers and journalists. You fucks are digging yourselves a hole.
Well,
You're so
I
triggered right
think
now
what
because
we
not
need to
only the
do is we
pedophile
need to
racketeering rings of
document
Monograph,
everything that
covering
they
up
say to
Marfugal's
you,
news
all
has
right,
been hardcore.
Snafu?
You
So we can
motherfuckers are
go
involved
and
in
we can
traitorous
snitch
acts in
on
our
them like we
country.
snitch on
You
everyone else,
motherfuckers are
right,
involved in traitorous
Snafu? Because
acts. You know
snitching
what
is
time
what
it is.
keeps you
You know what we
alive.
have. So fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off.
By the way, I'm not
I'm gonna snitch
suicidal,
again
everyone.
because my name's Snafu Snaps and snitching's what I do. I'm
And
gonna
then
take it to the
Moose
pedo
wants to joke
pogo
around
straight to
while
the
he fucking
cops
brings
because
his
that's
little
what they
kid around
do.
pedophile supporting fucks. Fuck you, Moose, you sick fuck.
You know what, Snaps? I'm getting tired of you.
You know what? Why don't you go let Host 8 and Monograph babysit your boy or your daughter? Why don't you just go let them chain them to a wall and do a video? You know, we'll call it art while they fucking click balls and fantasy about rape and torture on your child. And we'll call it art, Moose. But since you're cool with them, why don't you let them have a child for their video? Go for it, Moose. You got a kid. It's the age they like too. So go for it, Moose.
You know what's interesting? Running a hotel is very similar to like running a panel, right? You tend to have a bunch of people come that you have to service, and some of them are absolutely fucking insane. Some of them are of the lowest intelligence possible, and some of them are really cool, you know? And so it's like some days you come to the panel and you're just like, you leave and you're like uplifted, you're ready to go like kick the day's ass, do some shit, or you know, you're ready to go to bed, you know, you had a great time. This right here, this, and then including Jack Talcott. You bring Jack Talcott into this, and it's like, this is just pathetic. It's not even worthy of being on here. Like, this should, like, after the stream's over, he should just fucking delete the stream. I yield.
Again, Moose, why don't you let Flo and Monograph use your child for the next fantasy of rape, torture, and kidnapping on children?
Brown's boy out there, #1 troll. Brown's boy. You panelists are straight evil and stupid. No, don't yield, Moose. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's a disservice for me to shut up because he is impossible to work with, but he's also insufferable. So if he continues to talk, people are going to leave even faster.
Snafu, is this what you would prefer every day? To come here, take over my broadcast, turn it into something completely unintelligible, act like a complete retard, just desperate for everyone's time, energy, and attention?
Go ahead and kick it with satanic fucks, Paul, who fucking are involved.
Why can't I just do whatever the fuck I want to do in my life? Why is that? Why can't I just ever do whatever the fuck I want to do in my life is the question. Why do I need to be constantly surrounded by parasitic freaks with nothing to say or do in their life? Why? I'm asking. Anyone know? Now they're gone. Tarek just ran. Snafu just ran. You know, don't wake daddy, right? Now that I got a little bit loud and just asked a question if this is what he would want and what they want every day, to just fucking hijack me and whatever I'm doing, force their garbage onto me, interfere with whatever I'm fucking doing or whoever I'm talking with or doing business with, and then force me to make it into something. I mean, it's rather interesting. I let it go on, so I must not mind it too much. I'm just curious. Is this what you want Paul Unslaved to be known for and like be characterized as and where you want the walk to go? I'm just wondering.
If you want some, let me.
No, you go ahead, Daniel. You take over. Because I was enjoying what you were adding. Like you sleeping while they were all yammering. That was interesting. That was funny. Moose, you got any thoughts? Moose, help out the audience. I'm eating now. I'm cooking food. I gave the broadcast completely over to the slaves to just mangle it, ragdoll it, shit and piss all over it. It was an interesting simulation. We can continue it. I'm not saying I'm stopping it either. I just want to know, is this the first, 2 hours, 2.5 hours? Is this what Snafu and others want every day, all day? Here. Is that what they prefer? That I just fail and have nobody and nothing just like them?
Probably. Yeah, definitely. That's why it pisses me off.
News, turn up your microphone. Talk to these people. Try to help them out.
Are we there? Is there?
Yeah, it's a little better.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely atrocious. If he's acting, I mean, not even fucking degrade acting on that. And if he's not acting, I mean, we should get him some help. I usually don't advocate for abduction of individuals. I believe in individual freedom, but in his case, I think that the mental institution could do him a service. Do us a service, at least. Maybe not him a service. But I'm lazy like that. You understand? I'm lazy. I'm selfish. So that's my solution. Oh, that's you. The solution to all these people that come here repeatedly and decide that they want to waste the time of all the individuals in the chat that aren't here for them, that are here for somebody else. Why do I gotta babysit them, Lee? Why do I gotta do it? I'm not a good babysitter.
Because you're producer, Moose. You got to take care of everything.
I know. It's like Jack has the perfect opportunity to turn his failure into like the biggest YouTube experiment known to man. I mean, he's already there. He's in the house. Not gonna leave. If you got O'Shea there, they could live stream that shit. When the cops come in and then they bust down the fucking door, then, and only then, they turn the cameras on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think that was a good idea either. But I thought I'd throw it out there. I didn't really work on a monologue, but I could tell you, owning a hotel is very interesting. And selling a hotel is much more interesting. Some of the things people do, they make you wonder. And it's weird because like people like Jack Talcott walk in and you know, they look kind of like somebody who might have a body in the basement.
Spoken by yourself.
And then you
Because
got
those
somebody
words
else
that
who
he
looks like a
spoke are
supermodel,
true,
right?
and the truth applies
And
to
which
all
room is
of
like
us.
bad when they leave, right?
All
Which
of
which
us.
room has like
All of us
all
here
kinds of
alive
wild shit,
today in the
blood all over
human
the
form,
room?
we have the
I mean,
potentiality to
it's
be
fucking weird.
just as Christ-like as he. Now, there's limitations on the truth that I'm speaking, right? Because in the end, God controls, but I know God to be the truth. And the truth is, each of us, you know, as Jesus was, I am, you are, we are as he was. And all the other people in the Bible, as they were, we are today. And we all have the gift of freedom of mind, the will to choose to lead ourselves into the darkness or to lead ourselves into the light. It's such a beautiful, miraculous gift of life our Creator has offered to us. So the thought I had earlier, I told this to myself in the mirror and, you know, seems to be real for me. You are like Christ until you show you are not.
I am.
You are like Christ until you show you are not. Hey,
Thanks for
I
letting me come
will
back, sir.
be dropping the link in a little bit, but I do want to get through some thoughts. And
Great. Now Snafu and the other
I do
retards can
hope
go
that
all
people
over
tune in
spreading their
for
feces and
me
urine
to
metaversally.
receive what I'm sharing.
Be seen and
So
heard.
I will
Another
drop
place
the
they'll be
link,
seen and heard
but
today and every day.
bear with a few minutes, or
Insanity.
check back in, you know, whatever. So along the lines of this conversation, I realized you are like Christ until you show you are not. What does it mean to be Christ-like? It means to be true. It means to be calm. It means to be stoic. It means to be loving and fearless and genuine and kind, truthful, honorable.
And isolated from slaves.
You are that way until you show you are corrupted, until you show that you are not to be trusted, not to be respected. You get to show what you get to choose what you show to the world. I want to encourage you, shine your light authentically and brightly, because nobody else gets to be you. Nobody else gets to be you. Others may try to tell you what to do, but in the end, you get to choose. We all do. And so what I want to encourage everyone to start choosing is the truth above all else. Willing to receive bad news, willing to receive critical information, you know, that might not be pleasing to the spirit. Willing to be wrong, willing to be humble to the truth, to the facts. That's the key to life. And what I know as Jesus is love. What was taught and shown through the story of Jesus, of Yeshua, the chosen one. What was shown through that teaching and that example is pure love, authentic love, fearless love. Love is the way. It's what Jesus showed and offered. And that is what our God is. Our God is so loving. And we foolishly, well, perfectly misunderstood. Praise God. So something else I realized is the one in the mirror. It is the one in the mirror that can let you feel like a God, or the one in the mirror can let you feel hopeless, helpless, miserable, suffering, confused, whatever. The one in the mirror can help you feel good. As I was thinking about this, I was wondering, what if your will, right, your will that you choose, what if that is actually you directing God's will for you? Because God is that which moves us all, allows us to be moved. And in the end, we choose. We choose where we move, how we move, but we don't choose like every single mechanism with thought. We choose the intention, and then the body kind of flows. It does what it does. We've got this technology for experience, and we were shown, right, from our loving God, shown in the human form, communicated through the languages that we could understand. This is love. This is life. Life is love. Jesus is the symbol of love. Worship love. Allow love to lead you to the truth, right? Because in the end, God is the truth. The truth is that which the truth empowers us. When we know the truth, when we have an intimate relationship with that which is true, you feel strong, you feel confidence. But only you can allow yourself to feel the trust, to feel the confidence. The confidence, the trust, the love, the goodness, it's all within us at every moment.
Yeah, I needed this today. I needed to do this simulation today to remind myself, like I have in the past, that I'm dealing with pure insanity on here and I need to stick to some kind of format or formulation. So thank you, Snafu, and the others who came up today and did the first hour and a half, 2 hours of just complete power hungry, control freak, just games, right? Like I know I said, hey, go ahead, and then you showed me who and what you were, but that's precisely my point. So yeah, it's going to remind me, hopefully, much like Joe Biden. I'm kind of like Joe Biden, where I wake up every day, I start anew, right? I try to go, it's a new day. We're not going to live in the past. And then I need painful reminders to go, yeah, that's not really how it works. It's a new day, but you got to stick to some kind of script, some kind of formulation. If not, then it just becomes fighting every day, yelling and screaming, battling for airtime. And it takes a toll on me physically, right? Just 500 days straight of the insane asylum and just the chat box and all the rest of it. I may need a break. If I can't stick to a formula and I can't not constantly feel like I'm fighting here or at war, I may need a break a week or two. And then I'll just give the keys over to Snafu Snaps and others, and they can destroy the channel, cycle and spin. Or I'll just leave it there and I won't put anything on it. Gets to be a little bit much, Moose Creature. Day in and day out, the constant sickness and nonsense starts to feel like it's maddening.
The gatekeeper.
I'm surprised it never stopped.
The gatekeeper is
one can only take so much.
So we are living at a very amazing time where I believe we are all called for the same purpose. There's an inner calling within us that draws us forward into the path we live.
I think I'm going to vomit.
But for those who feel called by God, those who feel called to serve God, here's what I've been learning, and I want you to consider. Just try it out for yourself.
Like a class or something, and he took notes on all this
to you, because the truth makes sense, right? Damn it. The truth makes sense, yet not all. truth actually makes sense. Some of it defies what may seem logical and reasoning, but try this on and see what you think for yourself, right? If you feel called by God, what if the duty for you is simply to stay present, to stay attentive, right? To stay grounded and stoic in the present and paying attention to the now that keeps revealing itself, keeps unfolding itself. Because God is eternally present. God is the first person in the present. It is the I am that is. And we are a part of that which is.
Luke, can you host
So
the broadcast for the next
you
week?
feel called by God, perhaps the way of Jesus, the duty is to simply stay present, stay attentive, watching for, paying attention for, and being prepared for opportunities to serve. Stay present and attentive, prepared to serve as opportunities emerge. What if that is God's?
Yeah, I got to thank Pedro Castillo, Blessings in Truth and Love Matters, from, I believe it was yesterday. Just wanted to get to you while I'm reminded. Yeah, I'm over it. I'm getting over it. I'm getting over the cast of characters on here. Getting over the constant fucking nonsense. And I'm getting over my own habits and routines that I kind of set for myself, became stuck in a sense. So, yeah, I may have to flip that on its head.
How about doing 30-minute workout?
How about doing what?
30-minute workout.
What does that mean?
Start exercising with the people.
Yeah, I don't think that I'm going to do that. I don't need to do a Richard Simmons 30-minute workout with the audience.
He's asking you to pull a Jesse Howe. Do some high vibes, love tribe stuff.
Oh.
You got anything? I think I'm done.
I do have a... Oh, yeah. Have a good night.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it today. Come back tomorrow. Stay on task. Stay on a formula. I kind of just left it open a day to do kind of a simulation to see where it would go. See how I felt, kind of passively observing what goes on here and the dynamics. And yeah, more and more as time goes on, I'm just kind of getting tired of it. You know. I may have to just focus more on me, and doing other things. Because it's just, over 500 days straight, the constant yelling and screaming on here, the kind of burden and pressure to create something, and then at times almost have to fight to get it done. And then also too, it's like there's times, I guess, I'm looking for more audience participation and interaction, and that doesn't seem available as much. So, yeah, like Lee's saying, give yourself time away when you feel you need it. Paul, no worries, we will come back. Well, again, it's more of an opportunity for me. It's a blessing. It feels like an obligation as well. I get to come here and do what I do. But yeah, I mean, when it starts getting nicer out and I'm on here day after day and it's the same fucking folks and the same narratives, it's literally like being in an asylum. It's fucking maddening. And I guess I need to, get something down for myself as far as, maybe turn the comments off, create a limited space, whatever is necessary, because it's like the more that I look at it, I go, I'm going to drive myself sick or insane dealing with a bunch of sick and insane people. And that seems to be what's happening in a sense. So Jake says, we love you. Yeah, I know. I feel that. I need to accept that folks accept me and what I do. And, they're happy to see me or hear from me or whatever else. And then I don't have that much of a burden or obligation, but you know, it feels that way at times. I want to come here. I want to do a good broadcast. I want to interact with the audience, you know, create good conversation or inform folks if necessary, or just keep folks motivated and inspired. But, you know, where does that begin and end if I'm not doing enough of that for myself and with myself, right? I'm pouring into this and everyone else and essentially neglecting myself. And then also dealing with all the other elements that come with this. So, yeah, I think a refocus or a break is long overdue. We'll see where we go with it. Your thoughts, Daniel?
Sorry. I do got a question. One of the things that I wanted to come up for, I asked in chat, but I don't know if you saw it or not. But through what I do at work and talking to my customers and whatnot, one of them came in the other day and gave me a license plate. What are your thoughts on this?
It's practicing like anything else, man. I mean, they might leave it alone. They might look at it as a bullseye. You start citing you start citing code. You know how I feel about that. I mean, work for you on one hand, it could be a detriment on another hand because now you got to know it pretty much backward and forward. So that codification is really just meant to codify the original public law, and we know we have a right to travel. Right? It's kind of been ruled on, and it's common sense. So at that point, you're just practicing, giving notice, and then you know, seeing what comes about. You're never going to really know till you try it and see where it goes.
I'll see you later.
All right, Daniel. Yeah, we'll talk more about it tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, come on up tomorrow. We'll talk more of the legal, lawful stuff if necessary. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, I appreciate you folks, contributors, supporters, audience in general, even the insane asylum candidates, right? It's just, yeah, you know, at certain points in life and whatever you do, you got to take a break or refocus or maybe just scale back. So I've kind of had a hard time with doing what I need to do for me, separate from, you know, whatever this is and what it means to other folks, right? Because, you know, I love what I do here. I get this opportunity. I'm thankful, grateful, and blessed. It is kind of like a dream or a passion of mine to broadcast and be able to live, you know, make a living, as they say, while doing it. All right. Give me a break. I may pop up later. Maybe I'll do the official, non-official broadcast late night since we did simulation. The first couple hours really didn't get to much. If not, I'll be back tomorrow. Penile Power, get some fucking sleep, man. You're up all night, up all day. You're not sleeping, not resting. We're all addicted to the screens and to the media and the dopamine hits and the audience and all the rest of it. It's not good for us. Craziness. All right, I'm out of here.